humiliation itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put two dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coon. The white man that go nuts if he can't shoot. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, given to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation.
Queen.
Touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations. America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get mad. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of Eric Malcolm.
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch.
Difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you got to do that. I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. When I did it, I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. When I did it, I was fucked up. When I did it, I was fucked up. When I did it, I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. When I did it, I was fucked up. When I did it, I was fucked up. When I did it, I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. I was fucked up, fucked up, fucked up, fucked up. When I did fucked up.
To apologize. It's too
When I did it, I was fucked up.
late to apologize.
I was fucked up.
It's too
When I did it, I was fucked up. I was fucked up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video.
Now you see now, you done fucked up, you know that, don't you? You know you done fucked.
All right, hello everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr_A_Shakur, TikTok at Dr. A Shakur, and Twitter at DGoddess27. Also, if you don't like what the Queen is cooking, you already know what to do. Okay, hello, Pearly, Samantha, and Andrea in the house. My aunt Egypt, Darius Brock is here. All right. Desmond starting us out with a super chat says, enjoyed your broadcast from last night. Excellent. Love you, Queen. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Thank you for your kind words and your contribution. All right. 504 Nola is here. Nessie X, Antoinette, Khalid Herleen. All right. Juju B is in the house at Queen is Queen. And thank you, beloved. All right. Miss AP. All right, let's get into it. The lovely T. Khalid is in here. Shout out to all of my loyal royals and everyone tuned into the Queen. Y'all know I love me some loyal royals. Silent Sister is here. Okay, so listen, I want you all to pay attention because Diddy is so nefarious. He is so nefarious. We got to get into it. Hey, Queen Sam. So listen to this. Come to find out. Now, you all know that I have an inside source, and the inside source gave me some nefarious information on Diddy a couple of weeks ago, if you remember, about the Roman god Bacchus and how he was engaging in these freak-offs, which were really the same thing as the bacchanalias that they had back in ancient Rome, where it was wine, people engaged in promiscuity, doing all sorts of nefarious sexual activities. Then it was canceled. Okay. It was banned. The bacchanalias, they were so out of control. Now I want y'all to pay attention because they say history repeats itself. Now I find it all interesting that these bacchanalias were banned in Rome because as it turns out, people started saying there were nothing but these festivals of orgies that included drunkenness and all kinds of nefarious things, women on women, men on men, and all of that. And so they basically banned them in 186 BC. And so that's pretty much what's going on with Diddy right here in 2024. Those freak-offs have been banned because he's clearly under arrest. Okay? But here's the thing. Do you all remember once in the chat? How many of you remember me ever? Hey, OG Patrice, how many of you remember me ever doing a video where I talked about Diddy's back tattoo? Do y'all remember me telling you all what Diddy's back tattoo meant? Once in the chat, if you all remember that. Once in the chat, because it's all nefarious when y'all find out what's really going down. It's all nefarious when you find out what's really going down. Okay? So just keep that in mind because it's some more to it. It's much more to it than that. But before we get into it, let's talk about what they're saying out here in these streets. Let me pull this up. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Sean Diddy Combs' attorneys asked the judge to publicly identify his accusers. Because remember, all of these people are being named as John Doe, Jane Doe. Nobody's given names. Okay? And his attorneys want them to be called out. Now, attorneys for Sean Diddy Combs filed a motion Tuesday requesting that his accusers in a federal sex trafficking case be publicly identified so he can prepare a proper defense. Now, let's stop right there because the feds are holding out. Now, I don't know what's going on here, but do you all remember that I kept telling you all they're not saying anything about the kids? I told you just days ago they didn't say anything about those children that were allegedly at those parties. Why aren't they saying anything about minors when all these allegations have been going on for years, at least since 2011 when they questioned Jimmy the henchman? You all remember me saying that? Why aren't they mentioning the kids being used as party favors, as Allie Carter exposed and has been exposing for years? You all remember me saying that, right? Now I want you all to pay attention because they've charged him with sex trafficking. That's what they told us. But I got proof and receipts that they absolutely did charge him with those children. How come they're not telling us? That's what you should be asking yourselves. How come they're not telling us? I find it all interesting. But let me continue because I'm going to show you the receipt in a minute. And remember, you saw it here first. Now, goes on to say that attorneys for Sean Diddy Combs filed a motion Tuesday requesting that his accusers in a federal sex trafficking case be publicly identified so he can properly defend himself. Because here's the thing, they're not in court yet, but according to the Sixth Amendment, you have a right to confront your accusers. Now, you all know that I told you that's why Jeffrey Epstein turned up, deceased in my opinion, or swept away and taken somewhere else because he might not even be dead, who knows. But that all being said, Jeffrey Epstein gave the judge 100 names. He was about to snitch on everybody. But then all of a sudden he's dead. And with that being said, those names were never released and they were sealed. Okay, they were sealed by the judge. Because guess what? All of those people that were accused, if Jeffrey is dead, they can't confront their accusers. So nothing was ever done or said. You all know I told you that years ago. But anyway, let's continue. Now, goes on to say he can't prepare a proper defense. So the motion requests that U.S. District Judge Arun Subramanian of the Southern District of New York identify Combs' accusers because his lawyers argue that the torrent of anonymous allegations are damaging his reputation, leading to a media circus and depriving him of a fair trial. Now, you may remember that weeks ago I told you they said the same thing. Okay, they said that, well, they didn't say this specifically, but remember they said that they accused the feds of leaking information, specifically that video of Cassie, and they said they were dirtying the jury pool. Okay, let me tell y'all something. At the end of the day, they're trying to get Diddy's cases thrown out. I just want you all to pay attention, trying to get it dismissed, thrown out, whatever. Now, identifying anonymous accusers would allow Combs to adequately prepare for his trial, prevent any surprises, and protects him from double jeopardy should he be prosecuted again for the same offense, according to the filing by Combs' team of attorneys. Now, his case is unique in part because of the number of individuals levying allegations against him. Okay, Mr. Combs, due to his celebrity status and wealth and the publicity of his previously settled lawsuits, this is why they think this is all happening. Now, it also alleges grand jury leaks and false inflammatory statements by Department of Homeland Security agents tied to the release of security video showing Combs beating his ex-girlfriend, singer Cassie Ventura, in the hallway of the Los Angeles hotel. Now, we talked about that, and they're bringing that back up. So Combs' legal team filed a petition claiming the government provided the video to CNN and was responsible for leaking other information to the media. Now, remember, I told you guys that the feds are not supposed to be leaking information. And I initially thought,
that Cassie's attorneys leaked it. And that still could be true because we don't have any proof that the feds leaked it. It does seem quite suspicious that the video was leaked after they raided his homes. But you see, in my opinion, that would be too obvious. So I don't know who really leaked it because they said that Cassie also had a copy of the tape, that the hotel person who gave it to Diddy for the $50,000 also had given Cassie a copy. So that's why I felt like that her attorneys may have done it. Okay, but let's continue. Now, between the grand jury leaks and the incendiary public statements, the agents all but ensured that the grand jury, as well as general public, from which he will soon select a jury. Now, they say this had a pervasive ripple effect, resulting in a torrent of allegations of unidentified complainants spanning from the false to outright absurd. Yesterday alone, anonymous accusers filed an additional 6 lawsuits, they say. Now, the motion also mentions a recent news conference at which Texas-based attorney Tony Busby said he's representing 120 accusers in a series of lawsuits against Combs with allegations including S abuse of minors, the filing called the news conference a publicity stunt, and the allegations outrageous and deeply prejudicial. Okay, saying these accusations came on the heels of more than a dozen lawsuits previously filed and currently pending, several of which have already been discredited, but only after irreparably damaging Mr. Combs' character and reputation. These swirling allegations have created a hysterical media circus, okay, that if left unchecked, will irreparably deprive Mr. Combs of a fair trial if they haven't done so already. Now, on Monday, Busby filed 6 complaints in the Southern District of New York on behalf of 4 males and 2 females, none of whom are named in the filings. Now, the incidents alleged in the complaints span from 1995 to 2021 and include accusations of assault and rape. Busby announced at a news conference on October the 1st that he was representing accusers with allegations against Combs under the Victims of Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Act. Under this law, victims have a 2-year window ending in March of 2025 in which to file their claims. We're going to just try to file cases that we feel are credible and legitimate, Busby says. Now, the lawsuits name Combs and his various businesses as defendants, and the accusers are seeking unspecified damages. Lawyers for Combs denied the allegations in the suits. Now, NBC News has not independently corroborated any of the allegations in the complaints. So keep in mind, this is all alleged, okay? Not saying any of it's true. Now, Combs is fighting his pretrial detention on federal racketeering and S trafficking, for which Subramanian set a date for May the 5th. All right, but hold on. Now, here's what's going on with the feds. So the feds, because of Diddy, and I told you all this yesterday. Remember, you heard it here first. I told you all yesterday the real reason why Diddy was denied his bail. Okay, and I showed you what the attorney said. And this is basically what the feds are saying. Because remember, the attorney that I let you all, did I show you all the actual video or just the audio? At any rate, remember yesterday, you all heard the attorney for Dawn Richard say that her client is the reason that Diddy was denied bail. Okay, because after Dawn filed her lawsuit, and then it came out, Kalina Harper came out and then was, caping for Diddy and saying that she never experienced any of that. And, basically Dawn can't speak for her experience and all this and that. And then come to find out that Diddy had numerous, contacts with Kalina. So that's witness tampering. Now they say Diddy's history of bribery and violence. Feds ask court to keep him locked up. The feds are adamant that Diddy will be a menace or threaten witnesses or alleged victims if the judge lets him out on bail, because they say that's exactly what he did in the immediate aftermath of Cassie's beating. Now, see how Cassie's beating, that video is playing a significant role in this case? But I told you all that months ago when it first came out. Now, the U.S. Attorney's Office is responding to Diddy's latest effort to get released on bail, filing new docs to remind the judge what the defendant has allegedly done in the past to obstruct justice. Now, a 2016 video of Sean Diddy Combs assaulting his then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in an altercation that matches some allegations is now settled. Okay, now in the docs, they focus on the infamous Cassie beating video from March of 2016. They say, although there's still no mention of Cassie by name, federal prosecutors describe everything we've seen in the video. Diddy punching the victim, throwing her on the ground, kicking her, and attempting to drag her back to the hotel room. Now, what prosecutors really want the judge to focus on, though, is what happened when hotel security approached Diddy after seeing the beating on surveillance cameras. According to the docs, the Bad Boy Records founder attempted to bribe the hotel security officer with a stack of cash in exchange for his silence. Now, although the security officer turned down the money, the feds say Diddy directed his staff to obtain the video, and within days, it disappeared from the hotel's computer servers. As a result, the feds are formally asking the appeals court judges to affirm the lower court's decision to deny bond and to hold him in custody pending trial. This is TMZ talking. As we reported, Diddy and his new team of attorneys filed an appeal of the bond hearing decision. Now, remember, the judge has already denied him twice. Okay, this is all nefarious. This came out yesterday. I was going to report on this last night, but I chose to do that other video instead. And if you missed the video that I did last night, it was very informative and it's information that you absolutely need to know and much more important than Diddy news. Okay, so please go back and watch. Now, with that all being said, wait till you hear this. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Y'all know I be bringing y'all the receipts. Okay, RD, thank you for your contribution, beloved, and your insight into the topic. Says rabbit hole is deep and dark. It absolutely is, honey, okay? Please pay attention. And it is all getting more and more nefarious as the days go by. Okay? Now, let me just show you all this. Oh, I'm on the wrong email. Hold on, because I have receipts. I have so many receipts. I have both emails. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for right here. I got the proof and receipts. Now I'm going to share this on the screen. Share this on the screen, beloveds. Now, please pay attention because this is all so crazy. Okay, put my watermark on there. Now, here's what this shows. I want y'all to pay attention. Now, they told us that they had Diddy for S trafficking, but they didn't say it was of little people. Now, can y'all see this? Can y'all see that right there? S trafficking of who? Y'all see that word right there? S trafficking of children or by force, fraud, or coercion. Now, how come they didn't say that? How come the feds haven't said that, you guys? How come they're not telling the real scoop? Now, is this a new charge? Because I looked over the entire docket. And then it says transporting for prostitution, highest offense level, opening felony, terminated counts, none. Okay, and all of this. Now, pending counts, racketeering conspiracy, S trafficking of children by force, fraud, or coercion, transporting for prostitution. Don't y'all find it interesting that they left out that very significant part? They told us in that 14-page indictment, and since then, they've continued to say that they have him for S trafficking, not S trafficking of children. They never said that, but they said they have him for S trafficking, transportation for prostitution, right? And racketeering. Why didn't they say anything about those kids? What's going on here? I have several questions. I have several questions, okay? I want y'all to pay attention. At the end of the day, now I would put the whole docket up here, but at the end of the day, I have a lot to get through. So, with that all being said, now let's get into this. So remember, you guys, and if you forgot, I'm going to refresh your memory. You all remember when I told you about Diddy's tattoo? One's in the chat if you remember me telling you about Diddy's tattoo. I'm about to pull up the video for those of you who missed it. Because I know I talked about it on live, but I didn't feel like going through the videos to figure out which one it was because I really couldn't remember because I don't think I put it in the title. But I also did a TikTok. Okay. And that's why I do TikToks on all these videos so that I can just quickly find the receipts if I need to. Now I'm going to share my screen. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. Then I'm going to tell y'all what's really behind Diddy's tattoo. What's really going on. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Ahmadiyyah Shakur. So Diddy has just been slapped with another lawsuit. And this is from someone who claims that they had a relationship with him back in the 90s. They met in 1994, and he was supposed to mentor her and help her with her career. But things took a turn for the worse. Let's get into it. According to the lawsuit, April Lampros is a former Fashion Institute technology student who met Diddy, and as I said, he promised that he was going to mentor this poor woman. Lampros says that things quickly manifested into an aggressive, coercive, abusive relationship that was based solely on sex. She recalls 4 different terrifying encounters with Diddy. One that specifically happened in 1996, where he forced her and Kim Porter to take these illegal substances that sound like the letters X, T, and C. Please pay attention. Lampros also says that Diddy forced her and Kim Porter to have intercourse and that he forced pills down their throats to make sure that they swallowed it. She said on the night of the encounter, she felt lethargic and lightheaded. So she said she rejected his idea of having intercourse with Kim, but Diddy quickly reminded her that she wasn't in charge of the situation, that he was, and that in fact, if she didn't do what he said, well, she could lose her job. You see, at the time, she was an intern for Arista, which was the parent company of his Bad Boy record label, run by his baby daddy and sugar daddy, Clive Davis. Please pay attention. Lampros says the first time that Diddy assaulted her was in 1995 when they met up at a bar in New York City, and he basically was trying to pressure her to have all these drinks. She said she started feeling unwell after just a few sips, and then she was guided to a car to leave with him. Now, she says the car took them to a hotel, and when she was on the hotel bed, he just mounted her and started forcibly kissing her. When she tried to turn her head, he grabbed her face and continued on. And then he got her in her birthday suit and then just went on and had his way with her, even though she was trying to tell him to stop because she was feeling real sick. He didn't care. Please pay attention. Now, she says she finally passed out and that months after the incident, he continued to send her cards, flowers, and just gifts, trying to lure her back in. And one of the cards that he sent is included in the lawsuit. It was sent for Valentine's Day, as you can see here. So he was trying to get her back in his good graces after all of that. She says finally she gave in and she decided to meet up with him to discuss new business opportunities and, thinking about giving him a second chance. But then she says another incident happened in 1995, one day when they were leaving his apartment and they were headed for dinner. In the parking garage, he pushed her down to her knees and unzipped his pants. And you can imagine what he had her to do. She says Diddy was slightly inebriated, and after the incident, he was angry, threatening, and forceful. She says that he told her basically if she tried to get away from him, distance herself or whatever, he would completely blackball her and blacklist her from the industry, and he also threatened her with physical violence. Now, she says that years later, after she severed ties with him, she found out that he'd actually recorded some of the encounters when they were having relations and showed it to other people. Now, she's the 6th woman to detail assault allegations against Diddy in a lawsuit. She says that she permanently cut ties with Diddy in 1998. Lawsuit filed by Lampros' attorney Tyrone Blackburn names Diddy, Bad Boy Records, Arista Records, and its owner, Sony Music Entertainment, as the respondents. Okay, so this is getting all real crazy. Diddy, he doesn't know what to do, I'm sure. At the end of the day, all of his skeletons are literally coming out of the closet in real time. And I said that after that video of him assaulting Cassie at the hotel, I knew that more people were going to come out because more people now feel, emboldened. They feel empowered. They feel like people are going to believe them. People are going to side with them. People who were afraid to speak up before because of criticism, because the fear of people not believing them or possibly them being threatened or whatever. Now they have the courage because they see that many people now see Diddy for exactly who and what he is. And so, yeah, this is all looking real bad for him. I'm sorry, but this has to be the worst week ever for Diddy. Please pay attention. I also find it very interesting that Diddy has the nerve and audacity to have the Haitian goddess Izili Dantor tattooed on his back. This goddess is supposed to represent protection for women and children, something that he obviously knows nothing about. Please pay attention.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Ahmadiyyah Shakur. I just read through the.
Y'all saw that, right? Y'all saw that Diddy has a tattoo. I told you guys months ago, sometime last year, that Diddy had the Haitian goddess Izuli Dancer on his back. Izuli represents protection for mothers and children, but Diddy is an abuser, allegedly. So why would he have that on his back? Well, I'm so glad you asked, because guess what the insider told me, you guys? It was all a ruse. Diddy got that tattooed on his back because he is very much so into the Haitian culture of voodoo. Now, I've told you all before that I heard Diddy was in voodoo. He was involved in it. But here's the thing. That tattoo on his back was a throw off. It was to throw us off. Okay, at the end of the day, also, it was to make it look like he's not doing any of this stuff. He's not abusive. He would never harm children. When now we're hearing that he was doing exactly that. So what Diddy really is into is not that deity, Urzuli Dancer, but Urzuli Dancer's sister, which name is Urzuli Frida. Now, here's the interesting thing about Urzuli Frida. So let's get into it. This is all so nefarious. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance. Hold on. Let me just get rid of that real quick. Okay. I'm telling y'all, the rabbit hole is deep, just like y'all said. Okay? It's just getting deeper and deeper. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Give me just a second, because I got a lot of receipts on here. I'm not even going to go through all of them today. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Okay, here it is. Now, I need y'all to listen to this. I need y'all to listen to this. Let me start with this one right here. Hold on. Okay, so now listen to this. Where do I want to start? I don't read this whole thing. Okay, here it is. As a monotheistic religion, voodoo holds that there is one God, but adherents also believe that individual behavior is guided by spirits called Loas or Iwas, okay, which have their origin in the belief traditions of the people of the former African kingdom of Dahomey, now Togo and Benin. Many of these spirits are what we'd consider lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, gender fluid, androgynous, or dual gendered. But it goes deeper. Now, the gay males in Haitian voodoo embrace the divine protection of Urzuli Frida, not Urzuli Dantor, which Diddy has on his back. That was to throw us off. Because Diddy had sense enough to know that when people see that tattoo, they could go and look it up and find out what it represents, and what it stands for. So he put Urzuli Dancer on his back. Now, Urzuli Dancer has something to do with the LGBTQ also, but Urzuli Dancer not only protects women and children, but also gay women. That's indicative of gay women. But Izulu Frida protects the gay men. And that's who Diddy gets possessed by. He does these satanic rituals. Hold on. I don't know how I clicked on this. Hold on, guys. So Diddy basically got this ritual that he does, right? And he literally conjures a spirit of Azuli Frida and then becomes possessed by it. Okay, so please pay attention. Hold on, I meant to ask somebody something. I saw somebody in the chat was saying that they couldn't see or hear me. I forgot who it was. I hope they can now. Okay, so anyway, let me continue. I don't want to get off track. So with that all being said, this is all so nefarious. Now, but let me continue. So gay males in Haitian voodoo embrace the divine protection, excuse me, of Urzuli Frida, the feminine spirit of love and sexuality. Now, gay males are allowed to imitate and worship her. Is that why Diddy was wearing that wig and that black lace? Yes. Yes. Absolutely yes. That's why. Do you all remember when Diddy had on that flipped wig? and had on the lace. That's what he was doing. Now, goes on to say, their gay males are allowed to imitate and worship her. Lesbians are under the patronage of Urzuli Danter, a fierce protector of women and children experiencing domestic violence. So that's another thing that Diddy did. Diddy got that tattoo of Urzuli Danter to make it seem like he wasn't engaging in domestic violence against women and that he wasn't doing anything nefarious to children. Isn't that something? So please pay attention. Now, it goes on to say a Zuli dancer is bisexual and prefers the company of women. Okay? Labia is a genodrous or intersex spirit. And La Sira, who is the voodoo analog of Yemaya, a maternal spirit, is a revered transgender spirit. Are y'all hearing this? This stuff's been right in front of our eyes the whole time. So, openly gay men are ostracized in Haiti. An anthropologist Anne Lescott's 2002 documentary, Des Hommes et Dieu, it's called Of Men and Gods. It exposed the daily struggles of Haitian trans women, one of women featured in the film, Okay, ironically, homosexuality has been legal in Haiti since 1986. Okay, now I'm gonna stop right there, but y'all heard that, right? I'm telling y'all, that's literally just the tip of the iceberg. That is literally just the tip of the iceberg. Please pay attention. But let's keep going. Urzuli Frida Dahami, the Rhoda aspect of Urzuli, is the Haitian African spirit of love, beauty, jewelry, dancing, luxury, and flowers. She wears 3 wedding rings, one of each of her husbands, okay, who are Dambala, Agui, and Ogun. Her symbol is heart. Her colors are pink, blue, white, and gold, and her favorite offerings include jewelry, perfume, and cakes and liquors. Jewelry, perfume, cakes, and liquors. Do you all remember when Diddy started selling that cologne back in the day? And he also was selling liquor. And he has those all white parties. Now, that's the thing. Supposedly, when Diddy was doing these rituals to conjure up the spirit of Urzuli Frida to possess him, he would wear all white. Okay, please pay attention. Now, it goes on to say that Urzuli Frida is femininity and compassion embodied, yet she also has a darker side. She is seen as jealous and spoiled within some voodoo circles. It's considered to be lazy. Now, during ritual possession, please pay attention because this is what Diddy was doing. During ritual possession, she may enter the body of either a man or a woman. I just want y'all to pay attention. Diddy is all nefarious. Okay, didn't I tell y'all he was a whole devil and a demon? Now, I find this all very interesting. Because all these people that did TikToks on Diddy's back tattoo, all of them said the same thing that I said, that tattoo is of a goddess who protects women and children. None of us caught on that it was Urzuli Frida and that it had anything to do with this type of stuff. But let's continue. During ritual possession, she may enter the body. And here's the thing, I just want you all to know this, okay? Now, this stuff that I'm reading to you guys, I went and did the research on it because after the insider told me all this nefarious stuff, I had to fact check it. See, it doesn't matter who you are or what kind of information you give me, I have to fact check it and find out if it's true because I don't want to be looking crazy. But please pay attention. Now, let's continue. So, with that all being said, goes on to say, during ritual possession, she may enter the body of either a man or a woman. She enjoys the game of flirtation and seduces people without distinguishing between sexes. This is all nefarious, okay? And mind you, this is the sister of Urzuli. Sometimes they're called Urzuli or Izili. Erzuli Dancer and Erzuli Frida, or Ezeli Dancer and Ezeli Frida. All right. I'm telling y'all, Diddy is slick. He is real slick, but don't stop there, because here's somebody else that Diddy used to become possessed by. Now it's all making sense, because this person told me that Diddy becomes possessed, and he would conjure up this spirit and become possessed by Hadrian. Hadrian was an ancient Roman emperor who was gay. So I researched him too. His attempt to fortify the Roman Empire is well known, but an exhibition focuses on another side of the man. Okay, so let's talk about it. Publius alias Traianus, Trianus. He literally has the word anus in his name. I'm not even making this up. His name is Publius alias Traianus Hadrianus, or Hadrianus. He's got the word anus literally in his name twice. Literally in his name twice. Please pay attention. He was not only a peacemaker, but they called him Hadrian for short. Now, he was not only a peacemaker who pulled his soldiers out of modern-day Iraq, he was also the first leader of Rome to make it clear that he was gay. Now, why is that important? Why is it important, and why do they specify that he made it clear that he was gay? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because you see, although they called it homosexuality, that's what they literally called it. And that's what Diddy called it. Not homo, but they called it Romo. That's sexuality. So with that all being said, the reason it's important to note that he was the first Roman emperor to let it be known that he was gay, because the thing is, although the ancient Romans didn't have a problem with men engaging in man-on-man relations, they did have a problem with an emperor doing it, or a person who was wealthy or who had money, or not who was wealthy or who had prestige. They had a problem with that. The only time you could do it, but you couldn't be the one who was getting done. Y'all get what I'm saying? You could be the doer, but you couldn't be the one that was getting done. That was the rules. Hold on. Now, here's what it says. I'm trying to see where I want to start because I don't want to read all this. Okay. Describing Roman love and erotic practices, words such as gross, obscene, and lust abound. To them, Roman LGBTQ stuff was not expressed with romantic love, but with riotous orgies. Riotous orgies. Riotous orgies, okay? It is often linked to the notorious Emperor Nero, a hedonistic ruler who married both women and men. A man who is believed to have enjoyed penetrating as much as he enjoyed being penetrated by his well-known and well-endowed husband. This is all nefarious. Hold on. Now, nods to Rome in the novel include sex scenes with language recalling the imagery found in the works of Catullus and Martial. For instance, at an orgy, cross-dressing men are titillated by paintings that recreate sexually explicit Roman murals. Okay, there are also passages on Rome's obsession with huge cucumbers, reflected in its worship of the god Priapus, who was famed for his enormous cucumber. Now, Tellini even suggests that love, and not just sex, between men can be influenced by Rome. Clearly, that's how Diddy was influenced. Okay? This is all crazy. But hold on, because it gets worse. Trust me. It literally gets worse. And like I told you, they call this Romo sexuality. That's what they called it. This is all crazy. But now, before I continue, hold on. Um, Yemoja is not transsexual. She is the mother of many. It's true African spirituality. It's evident that South Carolina is most likely an initiated. Oh, Sean Combs. I thought that was South Carolina. Is likely an initiated voodoo practitioner. Yeah, he is. He is. I didn't say anything about anyone by the name of Yemoja. I didn't say anything about anybody named Yemoja, beloved. Okay, I said Yema Ya. Now, with that all being said, this is all nefarious. Let me have a word from my sponsors before I continue. Like sub, everyone, please. A like and share. Thank you in advance.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Okay, so don't forget you can purchase your 12 Tribes at Etsy.com. Look for Lisa Crafts, and also you can find it at Walmart.com. Okay, so let's continue. This is all crazy. So now, with that all being said, pay attention to this. First of all, I'm going to show you all some images in a minute, but here's what the insider also told me. So within those rooms that Diddy had in his mansion at Star Island, because remember, this insider has been to those freak-offs. They've been to the freak-offs, okay? And I have a whole lot of information, but I'm going to start with this today. So inside of those rooms that Diddy had, they called them the SEX rooms. Remember, I mentioned that before. Well, in those rooms, or in one of those rooms at least, there was depictions of this the ancient Roman stuff. Okay. For example, let me just pull this up on the screen. For example, stuff like this. Now I had to edit some of this to show it on ScrewTube. Y'all see that? This is a Roman soldier, and this is his lover, who's also a man. I had to cover that up because the privates. And then right here, it's three men. It's one in the front, and one right here, and then another one. And you can see what they're doing. You see their legs. I had to cover that all up. See this three? It's is that two or three on this cup right here? And then you see all of that. Huh? Hold on, let me read some of the comments. Terry Hartfield said, "Clutching my pearls." Okay. Joy said Diddy brought the golden casket for Kim weeks before she was sick. How did he know? Yeah, her stylist said that. I reported that like so long ago. I think I actually reported that before any of the stuff even came out on Diddy, even the Cassie stuff. That the stylist had said, his former stylist allegedly said that he purchased that casket a month before Kim died. Byron Cook said, "I can't today." Okay. Mary said, "What about Kamala?" I'll get to Kamala, honey. Okay. This is my live. I'll give out the receipts as I choose. Okay. Don't rush me. All right. If you came to see Kamala, I suggest you come back when I'm done with this if you don't want to wait. Kamala's the last thing on the agenda. Okay. So, with that all being said, let's continue. Now, Rome was a deeply, oh, and let me just say this, if I didn't make myself clear. Okay, so with this whole thing going on in Rome, like I was saying, the reason they specified, that Hadrian was the first emperor to make it known that he was gay, to be openly gay, is because first of all, you know, that kind of stuff was okay with them. They were absolutely cool with it. But the thing is, if you had any sort of prestige or wealth and power, you weren't supposed to be the one who was getting done. You could be the one who got done. And you were also supposed to only be doing this with um, slaves, okay, or people that you conquered. All right. And they could also do it to both men and little men. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Now, listen to this. Rome was a deeply militarized state with conquest and dominance deeply ingrained as desirable masculine traits. Now, as a result of this, men were free to engage in homosexual relationships as long as they were the active partner with the penetrative power. You get what I'm saying? Diddy's the doer. Okay. Now, with that all being said, and the submissive partner was considered to be lower in society than them. That's why they wanted them only doing this to slaves. For example, a free Roman man would not be subject to any form of discrimination if he engaged in homosexuality with a male slave, a former slave, a prostitute, or actor. But coitus with another man of the same social class would be taboo. So this is probably one of the reasons Diddy was hiring the sex workers, because they could do this with prostitutes. And plus that to him would be somebody that's of a lower social class than him. Not to say that he wasn't also doing it with other celebrities, but this is why he would hire the sex workers, the male sex workers, for the freak-offs. Now, that's just my opinion. So goes on to say, but coitus with another man of the same social class would be taboo, as the act of being penetrated as a male was seen to encroach on a man's integrity and compromise his status. Young men, specifically between the ages of 12 to 20, were seen as perfectly acceptable partners for a Roman man. And to an extent, there was a cultural expectation for older Romans to seek these kinds of relationships. However, free Roman boys and young men were strictly off limits. So it had to be slaves between the ages of 12 and 20 that they were fine with. Essentially, class and status as markers of social difference were far more important factors in determining the viability of an asexual partner than gender. So it didn't matter about gender, it mattered about status and class. Because sex between men transcended all social classes, and during the imperial period, there were numerous reports of Roman emperors engaging in such relationships. The most famous being the relationship between Emperor Hadrian and the Greek youth Antinos. Hadrian met the 13-year-old Antinos while on a tour of the provinces in 123 BC. There's even a picture of it. I'm not going to show the picture because I don't have anything to edit it right now. The act of penetrative relations between males was inexplicably linked with the active man's dominance and prowess, and it was regarded as scandalous and humiliating for men to be the passive partner. Didn't I tell you guys that Diddy was doing humiliation rituals to these men? Didn't I tell you all that? Please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, Julius Caesar was accused of political opponents in the late 50s, early 40s BC to have engaged in homosexual relationships with King Nicomedes the Fourth of Bithynia, who he had been a guest when he had been a guest at the Bithynian court in 80 BC. While it is unclear as to whether this claim is true, Caesar was rumored to have been the passive partner, which he's not supposed to do because remember, he was the emperor. And he also wasn't supposed to be doing it with another person of his same social status. So that's what he did. Now it says, while this is unclear whether this claim is true, Caesar was rumored to have been the passive partner, earning him the title of the Queen of Bithynia. So they were calling Caesar a queen. This is all juicy from his enemies. That's what his enemies were calling him, demonstrating the relationship between passivity and femininity, as well as the emasculatory effects that being the recipients of homosexuality entailed. Even when Caesar returned to Rome after conquering Gaul, he could not escape those rumors. And the chant Caesar laid Gaul low, that's what they would chant. And the chant Caesar laid Gaul low by Nicodemus laid Caesar low, but Nicodemus laid Caesar low, rang out at his triumphal procession. So as they had the procession for Caesar, they're all chanting Caesar laid Gaul low. Nicodemus laid Caesar low. This is all nefarious. So listen to this. Homosexuality in ancient Rome was as much about communications of power and status that it was about attraction and emotion, with sex as a vehicle to exercise privilege and dominance. Now I want you all to pay attention, because didn't I tell you all heard it here first. Nobody else has said this. Now they may copy later, but remember how I told you all the Menendez story was tied to Diddy and how their father was imitating Julius Caesar. He put that crown on his head that Julius Caesar, like similar to what Julius Caesar used to wear. He hired a male prostitute. This is all what it says. He was also in the music industry, RCA Records exec. Are y'all getting all of this? See how I'm putting the pieces of the puzzle together? I just want y'all to pay attention. I just want you guys to pay attention. Okay? This is all crazy. But let's continue. Now listen to this. This was about communications of power and status, more about communications of power and status than it was about attraction and emotion, with sex as a vehicle to exercise privilege and dominance. The civil freedoms of a Roman citizen allowed him to engage in such relations with any man lower in society than him, whilst demonstrating his virility and ability to conquer others. Okay? Remember, I told you all it was about power with Diddy and humiliating people, because he could easily go get men who are LGBTQ to do these things with. And I said, why would he be doing it with men who were supposed to be masculine men, taking advantage of them? Because that was his way of breaking them. Okay. And there's something else very nefarious that Diddy was doing, honey. And I can't wait to tell y'all that. But we're not going to talk about that today. So anyway, goes on to say, the civil freedoms of a Roman citizen allowed him to engage in such relations with any man lower in society than him, whilst demonstrating his virility and ability to conquer others. It translates so directly to displays of power that Roman men were even known to orally grape their rivals to express their superiority over them while ridiculing the victim, although laws were put in place to prosecute the offender and protect the status of the victim. The case of Caesar shows elite men were targets for slander from others for being a passive partner, and it could damage a man's political reputation. Now, let me just tell you all something. I made a connection with that. So as soon as I found out that they would orally grape their political rivals, you all know what that reminded me of? Please pay attention. Please pay attention. Hold on. Let me pull this up real quick. Where's that video I did? I literally did a video. Hold on. Hold on, beloveds. Where is that darn video? There is a video that I did. Okay, I know I have it in here. Hold on, beloveds. Give me just a second. So I know I have that video. We all got the information. It's from one of Diddy's new lawsuits. It's from one of his newer lawsuits. Hold on, let me just carefully go through this. Okay, let me go to my channel and find it. Remember those lawsuits that were just filed on Diddy the other day, those 4 lawsuits with the men? I already have the timestamp. I already have the timestamp of the video. I just don't have the video because I thought I sent it to my email, but hold on. I'm about to pull it up real quick. In the meantime, in between time, likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Here it is right here. There we go. Let me close out some of these tabs. Now, I'm going to go back to a video that I did last week because the receipts is in this video. There it is. Now, I want you all to pay attention to something. Now, if you guys remember, I want you to pay attention to what I just told you, that they would orally grape their rivals and humiliate them and call them names and stuff while doing so. Now, Diddy did this to somebody specific. I want you all to pay attention. Listen to this. Remember the guy who worked for Echo clothing line that Diddy took advantage of in the stock room? This is exactly what he did to this person. And please pay attention because Echo was Diddy's rival back then because they were both at the top of the clothing line. Here it is right here. Okay, so let me just read it. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to play the audio. For approximately 7 years. Now, Echo Clothing at the time was among the most popular clothing lines in the industry. Okay, in 2008, Combs' Sean John clothing line was also hitting peak popularity. Now, plaintiff had in fact met Combs several times in connection with Combs' development and marketing of the Sean John clothing line. Echo and Sean John were competing lines within the clothing industry, both having had a large amount of success within the hip hop community. Moreover, both lines had relationships with and were carried at the time by Macy's well-known department store. Now, in or around May 2008, plaintiff was in the stock room at Macy's flagship store at Herald Square in Manhattan when Combs and 3 of his bodyguards entered the stock room. Plaintiff came upon Combs and his bodyguards at a T-junction in the stock room where plaintiff had very little room to maneuver. Combs was flanked by 2 large bodyguards at the left and 1 large bodyguard to the right. Immediately, see, these bodyguards, they need to be held accountable too. All of the people that were complicit in this stuff and that were sitting there helping Diddy to do this stuff, whether they were locking somebody in a room or holding the person hostage until Diddy finished his business, they all need to be going down, okay? Now, immediately after turning a corner in the stock room, plaintiff was hit hard around the base of the neck, possibly with a pistol. The blow forced plaintiff to his hands and knees, pistol whipped him. This is also egregious. Now, as plaintiff looked up, he saw that each of the bodyguards had guns in their waistbands. Plaintiff had multiple voices he heard multiple voices call out to him or call out things like, "I'll kill you." Now, Combs approached plaintiff while plaintiff was still on his hands and knees and said, "Suck my blank, Echo." Now, he called him Echo clearly because that's where the young man worked for, referring to the clothing line that the plaintiff worked for. Now, Combs thereafter forced his cucumber into the plaintiff's mouth and proceeded to forcefully and brutally orally grape plaintiff. Combs continued for at least 2 minutes until he finished, okay? While orally graping plaintiff, Combs grabbed plaintiff's hair and made derogatory comments like, "You like that, white boy?" This is all sick. Now, do y'all hear that? You like that white boy while pulling his hair, treated him like a bitch, treated him like a woman. That's what he was doing, demeaning him, emasculating him. And this is a classic, Mills Lane said, a classic humiliation ritual. Yes. But here's the thing. That's exactly what the Romans would do. They would orally grape the person and humiliate them by calling them names and saying crazy comments to them while doing so. I'm telling y'all, this is absolutely true. Wow, this insider is on to it, honey. Okay, I haven't heard anybody, not even Jaguar Wright, come up with this. I want y'all to pay attention, all right? The queen has receipts. Now, Bobo says, this is unbelievable, queen, that it's definitely a connection to exactly 100 to what you uncovered. It's a humiliation ritual. Thank you, beloved. Now, y'all know these big-time YouTubers with all the subscribers going to be trying to steal the queen's content. Y'all know how they get down. Please pay attention. But you heard it here first. This is all so nefarious. Okay, graphic art. Thank you for becoming a channel member, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings to you. Pensilola said, diabolical devils, disgusting. Absolutely. Isn't this all nefarious? This is all crazy, honey. Okay. With that all being said, goes on to say, in shock and traumatized, the plaintiff gathered himself and left. And then remember, to add insult to injury, don't you all remember that the person got fired? That the poor guy got fired after Diddy and his bodyguards did that to him in the stockroom because he complained about it and nobody did anything, and then he ended up losing his job. This is all crazy. I just want y'all to pay attention. See how I'm putting these pieces together? This is all crazy. Now, with that all being said, hold on. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. And for those of you who missed it, let me go back and get something real quick. Do I even have that on here? Hold on, beloveds. Okay, here we go. Now, I'm going to show this video again for those of you who missed it. Because you see, when the insider told me this information, that's what made me start researching more stuff about about ancient Rome. And then when they told me about the goddess Urzuli Frida, they said they saw my TikTok where I was talking about Diddy's back tattoo. And they were like, yeah, you got it right, but you missed something. And I'm like, what did I miss? And that's when they told me the little fraud, the little con game that Diddy pulled to throw people off. This is all crazy. Okay? This is all crazy. 22W says, I'm Haitian and I don't mess with any of those spirits because they'll turn on you when you disobey them. Absolutely, beloved. Okay, this is absolutely true. This is absolutely true. Oh, so crazy. Now I'm going to share my screen. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Ahmadiyyah Shakur. An inside source told me exactly why Diddy was having those freak-offs and what they were representative of. So let's get into it. So these wild parties were supposedly rituals to the Roman god Bacchus and the festivities that they had back in the days of ancient Rome known as Bacchanalias. No, they considered Bacchus the god of wine, intoxication, freedom, and ecstasy. And I find this interesting because at Diddy's parties, they said they were given copious amounts of alcohol and also illegal substances. One of those illegal substances is the same name as what they engaged in, okay, in the physical form back in ancient Rome. Okay, they say that there was ecstasy put in people's drinks. Okay, please pay attention. Now, if you look at this painting of Bacchus, you can actually see the picture next to it with Diddy. This is something that he had at his party. There was a woman lying on the table in her birthday suit, and there was food placed on her, and the people were eating it off of her, specifically Diddy. Now, as you can see, you see the grapes and everything, the same fruits and all of that are in the picture of the painting of Bacchus. Now, I'm sure this isn't a coincidence. The reputation for the Bacchanalias came to be that they were viewed as festivals of debauchery and promiscuity. And so in 186 BC, the Roman Senate decided to prohibit them. Okay, so they put a stop to it except for special or certain occasions by certain people. Okay, and they were initially done in private, they were done in secret, just like Diddy's freak offs, okay, from the sounds of it. And also, back then in ancient Rome, it was perfectly fine for men to be dealing with men rather than women, and without them being viewed as not being masculine. Okay, yeah, that all sounds very reminiscent of Diddy. Please pay attention. And another reason there were problems for the Bacchanalias and they wanted to get rid of them is because they said people were engaging in occult practices, okay, black magic and doing nefarious things, which also is reminiscent of Diddy because it has long been rumored that Diddy dabbles in voodoo. And not for good purposes, mind you, okay, for nefarious reasons, okay, with the darkest of intentions, allegedly, of course. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Ahmadiyyah Shakur. Now, don't you guys let me forget to tell you how J-Lo plays a role in this. Don't let me, because I literally almost forgot. I was about to go into Kamala, but I forgot. Don't let me forget to tell you all about J-Lo. Hold on, I got to show you all this other video. Now, I did this video days ago. For those of you who missed it, it's also about the ancient Roman practices that he was involved in. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Ahmadiyyah Shakur. Diddy's legal team has fired back at the allegations in the 6 new lawsuits filed by attorney Tony Busby for his clients, saying that it was all basically Tony Busby trying to get publicity. So let's get into it. They supposedly told TMZ that the press conference, the 1-800 number that preceded the barrage of lawsuit filings, was just all an attempt to garner publicity. They say that in court, the truth will prevail and show that Mr. Combs has never assaulted anyone, whether it's adult or minor, man or woman. Please pay attention. At the end of the day, the disturbing details in these lawsuit filings are some of the most egregious, deplorable, disgusting, and sick things that I think I've ever heard of anyone being accused of. At the end of the day, it not only made me sick to my stomach, but it also made me very angry. The notion that someone could do these things to another person. It was just all so nefarious. Please pay attention. And as I told you in a previous video, that an insider said that Diddy was doing these rituals to the Roman god Bacchus. At the end of the day, that's not the only thing that he was doing that came from ancient Rome. Please pay attention. You see, the assault of adult men remains, even to this day, one of the closely kept secrets from ancient Rome. You see, a man R-wording another man was used as a weapon of war. And that was mainly because it was incompatible with masculinity. So basically, taking someone's manhood, that was the way a person saw themselves as a victor. You see, the acclaimed Roman statesman and orator Cicero was one of the few to speak up against these war atrocities. Basically, he told the generals to keep the savage tendencies of their soldiers under control. Please pay attention. You see, Cicero knew that R-wording a man was a war custom, and it was also an instrument used by generals to reward their troops. And if you saw the video that I did about the Menendez boys and how I tied the things that they claim happened to them to Diddy through the music industry, because their father, Jose Menendez, was a big-time executive for RCA Records. Now, with that all being said, basically they talked about how he would tell them that this was a way to toughen them up when he was doing these things to them, assaulting and R-wording them. And also there's a scene from the movie on Netflix about their story where you actually see Jose Menendez dressed as Julius Caesar. And then he's telling this male SEX worker to crawl to him. And then he also told the boys that this is a way that they made you tough. Okay, back in the days of ancient Rome. Okay, please pay attention. So in my opinion, this is just something that is in the culture, okay, embedded in the culture of the music industry. This is something that is, like Diddy said, a rite of passage. This is just what they do and how they get down. And at the end of the day, it's also about humiliation, because these men who like this type of behavior, they could easily find people who like the behavior as well. But for them to do this to masculine men, that's just a way to further humiliate them and to shame them and to break them down. And see, then they feel victorious, okay, as if they've conquered someone. So please pay attention.
And one more thing, I meant to say the Menendez brothers, not boys. They're clearly grown men. But I was thinking about what happened to them when they were boys. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Ahmadiyyah Shakur. I just read through the legal docs of the new lawsuit filed. Okay, all nefarious. Hold on, beloveds. Hold on. I'm sending something to my email. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I had to mute myself for a second. I was sending something to my email. Now, I want you all to pay attention. I want you all to pay attention because here's the thing. Now, the source says, now this is all alleged because I don't want Jay-Z nor Beyonce sending me any cease and desist or anything like they did Pierce Morgan. Okay, so this is all alleged. As a matter of fact, let's just say it's not even true. But the insider said that Jay-Z was doing these things too. And that means conjuring up spirits and all of that. Now, I can't substantiate any of this. Oh, please pay attention. But said that Jay-Z was conjuring up spirits too. But hold on. Do you all remember this? Now, in this video that I'm about to play, Jaguar was talking about Christopher Williams, but I already proved to you guys with receipts a while ago that it wasn't Christopher Williams who did this to. Jaguar got this as secondhand information. She said an entertainment attorney told her this. That woman didn't really see who it was. She thought it was Christopher Williams, but it wasn't. Okay, it was another person that used to be hanging out with Diddy all the time. So pay attention. But listen to what she says, because then you'll see that this is exactly what Diddy was doing. This is the same thing.
I think it was like
Listen.
03. Yeah. It was right before me and Music Soul Child did the Grey Goose tour. There was a young woman, beautiful woman. She's a lawyer, or at least she was. She used to be an entertainment lawyer. I'm not going to say her name. The story is enough. Because I don't know. I hope I won't be putting her in danger. But she shouldn't have to feel afraid after all of these years, almost 20 years, you know. But I had to give her a job. I shouldn't say I had to give her a job. I gave her a job working for me so she could find some safety. Because while she was working at Bad Boy, because she was one of the lead counsels for Bad Boy Entertainment, she witnessed something. She witnessed something that was disturbing to her. But what was really disturbing to her was the conversation that she had with Diddy after. See, Christopher Williams, I don't know. I guess he wanted to sign. I don't know what happened. But Puff was supposed to be giving him a demo deal, and he gave him a demo deal. And I guess it was supposed to turn into an album deal, which that never happened. But this young woman walked in to get approval on some paperwork. See. And when she walked in, the door wasn't locked. So she didn't think twice about just walking in. And when she walked in, she saw Christopher Williams performing fellatio on Puff. Now, from what she said to me, it was disturbing because, you know, they didn't stop. She just walked out and she just kept her head down at the office the rest of the day, I believe it was. And I don't think it was at the end of business day that day, but I think it was the following day. He came into her office and was like, yeah, so you came in there. So what? What you gonna do? You wanna say something? And she was like, oh no, she was like, I just don't understand why you left the door unlocked. If you were in there doing that, why would you leave the door unlocked? He said, I'll do whatever the fuck I want to do in my building. And I just don't know. He was like, it's power, see? I can make a man, he said, if I can make a man suck my dick, I can make people do anything for money.
Now, y'all heard that?
There's 1,017 people in the chat. Please let's let the likes match the people. Okay. Please let's get the likes up, beloveds. Okay. I'm putting in work here. I'm dropping receipts. Now, with that, I'm connecting the dots, putting the pieces of the puzzle together. So, with that all being said, it wasn't Christopher Lewis. No, 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 no. Who I believe it was, hold on. I'm about to pull up his picture. Lou Tucker. Allegedly, Lou Tucker. Because Lou Tucker looks an awful lot. Lewis Tucker, but they call him Lou. He looks an awful lot like Christopher Williams. You all remember I showed you this before. And I want to say, hold on. Okay, here's a picture of him right here. Let me just pull this up. This is a picture of him and Diddy right here. I want to say OG Patrice told me it was Lou Tucker. I think OG Patrice is the one that told me it was Lou Tucker. And then I went and looked him up. See, that guy right there, that's Lewis Tucker. And there's many pictures of him and Diddy. So I think that's who it was, not Christopher Williams. Because everybody that knows Christopher Williams, no, he don't play that. He never did. And remember, he did address it. Okay, he did address that. All right. Who did I say, Jeff ATL? Who did I say? I didn't say Christopher Williams. I said it wasn't Christopher Williams. I believe it was Lou Tucker. Okay, I believe it was Lou Tucker. And also pay attention because Gene Deal also said on an interview that he didn't think it was Christopher Williams because Christopher Williams didn't get down like that. He said it was another guy that looked like Christopher Williams, but he couldn't think of the guy's name. But it was Lou Tucker. OG Patrice said, yes, it was me. Hey, beloved, you're going to have to get in here with me one day. Next time I do a video on Diddy. Thank you, beloved. Now, that's another one of my little insiders right there. OG Patrice. Y'all remember that night we were on here for 2 hours and OG Patrice was dropping receipts. Now, with that all being said, I want y'all to pay attention. Okay? He said that if he could get a guy to suck his cucumber, he could get them to do anything for money because he has power. So that's what it was all about. It was about power. Diddy is low down and nefarious. I just want y'all to pay attention. Okay? I just want y'all to pay attention. Doing these sick rituals and all of this stuff. But hold on, because remember, I told you the insider said Jay-Z, this is all alleged, but said Jay-Z was doing those rituals too and was getting possessed and conjuring spirits. And I'll tell y'all more about Jay-Z tomorrow because we're not going to get into that today, but I will show you this today. I showed you this before, but just to refresh in your memory, listen to this.
Modern day Sinatra, so, I try to live up to that, I get possessed by the spirits. I get possessed by the spirits.
And then you listen to his music. So what do you think you get possessed by? And whether you like it or not, the truth is the truth.
And that's another thing. You get possessed by the spirits. Okay. This is what the insider told me also. That this music that they do is prayed over. But I'd heard this before, but it's prayed over by these witches, okay? And then they do this conjuring, and then when you listen to it, you become like in a trance, like a hypnotic trance, okay? But I told you all that before. So that just confirms what I said, because I told you guys, I said, have you ever heard a song, you didn't even like it, and then all of a sudden, you start liking it, and you found yourself singing it and all that stuff? Mm-hmm. Using black magic and all kinds of stuff. All nefarious. Now let's talk about J-Lo, because the insider says, and this is all alleged, that J-Lo is the one who got Diddy into this stuff. That J-Lo was allegedly doing rituals with Diddy. There's a picture that I shared on my X account. I'm not going to show it on here, but there was a picture I shared on my X account. One's in the chat if you guys saw it, but I had a picture of Diddy. It looked like Jay-Z and J-Lo. Did y'all see that picture? And they didn't have on any clothes. That's why I didn't show it on here. I could have edited it, but they didn't have on any clothes. Now, somebody posted that picture to X, and I reposted it. but it's kind of blurry. It's kind of blurry. So you all are putting one, so you all saw it. So now it's all making sense. Because on that picture, I'm thinking they were doing a ritual because they weren't wearing any clothes. I think Diddy had on clothes, but the person that looked like Jay-Z, and it was the Jay-Z from back in the day with a fade haircut. And then it was J-Lo, looked like she had on bikini bottoms, but like her breasts were out. So you all saw it. Okay. Franco says, great show, Queen. Thank you, beloved. Thank you. And then Selena says, Oprah Winfrey. Oh, we're going to talk about Oprah too, but not today. Not today, because I got scoops on her too. Now, I'm telling y'all, this insider is telling me everything, okay? It's all alleged. I'm not saying any of it's true. Please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, Silent Sister said, don't rush the queen, LOL. Okay? Thank you, beloved. Now, with that all being said, y'all just heard Jay-Z say he gets possessed by the spirits. So, was he telling the truth? Well, according to the insider, he absolutely was. Okay, when they would do these rituals, they would conjure up these spirits and become possessed by them. And some of the times when these assaults were taking place, where people were being forced into doing things, where they were giving people drugs and stuff to make them do things or whatever, or so they could do things to them and they wouldn't remember, they were possessed by the spirits. Or Diddy was allegedly possessed by the spirits when he would do this. So this is also crazy at the end of the day. Okay, likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. All right, I think I'm going to stop it right here with Diddy, and then we're going to move on to J-Lo. I want y'all to pay attention because J-Lo is a big practitioner of Santeria. Okay, Santeria, that's what she's into. And it's very close to voodoo. She openly has admitted it. So Jennifer Lopez et la Santeria voodoo et riti magici. That's what it says. Jennifer Lopez. So with that all being said, let's talk about it. J-Lo Santeria is a term used to describe the religious practices of J-Lo or Jennifer Lopez, an American singer, actress, and dancer. J-Lo has been open about her belief in Santeria, a religion that originated in West Africa and was brought to the Americas by enslaved Africans. Santeria combines elements of Catholicism with traditional African beliefs and practices, and is often associated with music, dance, and healing rituals. Lopez's embrace of Santeria has been controversial at times, but it has also helped to raise awareness of the religion and its traditions. In recent years, there has been a growing interest in Santeria among people of all backgrounds, and Lopez's example has helped to make the religion more visible and accepted. Now, remember, I told you guys that, what's that guy's name, the rapper from Florida? Gunplay. He does Santeria. He's openly spoken about it. He wears the Santeria beads. He said that he did Santeria to avoid going to prison one time. And he was absolutely charged. I want to say it was robbing somebody, but they had him on film. You all don't remember. I told you all this years ago, like about 3 or 4 years ago when I first got on YouTube. And I showed you the video footage of the robbery, of the crime he was committing. I think he was robbing, was it a check cashing place? He was doing something nefarious on camera, but I think he was robbing the person. I can't remember. Robbing this place. But it was literally on camera and he got off. He said that he did Santeria and he took like I want to say he took like a goat. Like Rick Ross said that he does voodoo and he uses a goat. See, these are very closely intertwined, Santeria and voodoo. Now, with that all being said, Gunplay said something about he went to the beach and put something in the ocean. I can't remember. That was years ago. But anyway, now Jennifer Lopez's public embrace of Santeria has helped to raise awareness of the religion and its traditions. Okay, here are 5 key aspects of J-Lo Santeria. Okay, syncretic. Santeria combines elements of Catholicism with traditional African beliefs and practices. Okay, they have music, and then they engage in these. And music and dance plays an important role in Santeria rituals. And also, the insider said that when it would be full moons or new moons or anything like that, the Diddy would be doing these things on. He was into the astronomy. Okay, and studying the lunar phases. So when it was like a full moon, he would do full moon rituals, which I find interesting because I do full moon rituals. And I've told you all about it on my spiritual channel, but I don't do the kind Diddy does. I do the kind for manifestation because of the powerful energy that comes from the moon. But Diddy would be doing these rituals at the full moon and new moons, allegedly wearing all white, and he would be out in the yard or out in, wherever he was, he would be outside under the moonlight doing this satanic dance and playing this satanic demonic music. Okay, but let's continue. Goes on to say that the music and dance is very important in the roles in Santeria rituals. Healing, as far as that goes, Santeria practitioners believe in the power of healing and rituals to heal the sick. Now, Santeria has been controversial at times due to its association with animal sacrifices and other practices. And that's another thing. The insider alleges, I don't know if this is true or not, but the insider alleges that Diddy was also doing animal sacrifices, okay, using goats and also using blood from women that he was dealing with, okay? And I'm talking about the blood that they have like once a month. Now, with that all being said, controversial. Now, Santeria has been controversial at times due to the association with sacrifice and other practices. Now, there has been a growing interest in it among people of all backgrounds. These 5 aspects of provide a brief overview of J-Lo Santeria. The religion is a complex, multifaceted one, and there is much more to learn about it. Okay. So with that all being said, they say Santeria rituals often incorporate elements of both Catholicism, traditional African religions. For example, the Santeria initiation includes both Catholic prayers and traditional African drumming and dancing. Santeria practitioners believe in a single God. Now, I want you all to pay attention because didn't I tell you all, one's in the chat, if you remember me telling you all this, when I told you guys that when Jay-Z was in Atlanta, he was on the radio station V103, and they were talking to him about that video he did with Swiss Beats, Bring Back the Money. It had a lot of demonic imagery in it. And so they were asking him about it, not to mention he'd been wearing that sweatshirt with the saying, that quote by Aleister Crowley, okay, who was known to conjure up demons, and they said he could even conjure up Satan. And they said those demons came back and attacked him before he died. But anyway, remember I told you guys that the people at the radio station were asking Jay-Z about if he worshiped the devil because of that video and because of that shirt and other rumors. And then I told you the answer he gave. He said, I believe in one God. But he never said who the God was. And I thought that was interesting. And I said, they didn't catch that because I did. Because if somebody asked me, if I worship the devil, I'm going to say, of course not. I worship God, the Most High. But he didn't say that. He said, I believe in one God. But who's the God that you believe in? That's the question. But right here it says Santeria practitioners believe in a single God, but they also believe in a pantheon of lesser gods or saints. These saints are often associated with specific Catholic saints, but they also have their own unique African identities. Santeria practices include a variety of rituals and ceremonies with animal sacrifice, divination, and healing rituals. These practices are often based on traditional African beliefs and practices, but they have also been influenced by Catholicism. Music and dance, essential components, they are used to create a sacred space to invoke gods. Music is also used to accompany the divination and to tell the stories of the saints. Jennifer Lopez embraces the embrace of Santeria has led to them producing a documentary. Hold on. She did a documentary. It says Lopez has incorporated Santeria music and dance into her own performances, and she has also produced a documentary about the religion. So that's what made it accessible to a wider audience. Yeah. So this all makes sense because he said, the insider that is, said that J-Lo introduced Diddy to this. Another thing is, here's the kicker to the whole story. The insider says that Diddy did a ritual for protection when he was arrested and on trial for shooting that woman in the face back in 1999. Said he did a ritual and he put this stuff in his mouth and chewed it and spit it out when he walked into the courtroom. What was the name of that stuff? It was called, oh my God, I can't think of the name of it. It was something that he said Diddy went to a voodoo practitioner who was like a high priestess and said they told Diddy exactly what to do so he would beat those charges. Said they gave him this stuff called, oh my God, I can't remember the name of it right now, but he put it in his mouth and they told him to chew on it as he walked into the courtroom. And as he walked in there to spit it out on the floor as he's walking in the courtroom. And that's what Diddy did. Now, here's the thing. This insider is somebody who was very close to Diddy. So they know a whole lot. They know a whole lot. And I'm definitely instructed not to say who they are, which I won't anyway. I never give up my sources. But listen to this. In addition to animal sacrifice, Santeria has also been criticized for its use of witchcraft and sorcery. These practices are often seen as being harmful or dangerous, and they have led to Santeria being labeled as a cult by some. Now, here's another thing. That's what the insider said as well, that they have a coven of witches. And when they have these rituals, they have the coven of witches come there, and they all do this stuff together. It's just all so crazy. Now, some of the stuff they said they didn't want to tell me, I'm not sure why, but they just said some of the stuff they just didn't want to tell me, at least not right now. Now, the controversy surrounding Santeria is complex with no easy answers. Okay. Okay. So there you have it. Because like I told you all, I started doing my research, honey. After they start telling me all this stuff, I'm like, wait a minute, let me just fact check all this. I said, I'm going to go look this up. And they were like, yeah, look it up. They were like, this is absolutely what he's been doing. And also, they told me the significance of the colors. Okay, they told me the significance of the colors, with the white parties and all of that. Okay, because they would also wear all white at the parties because it represented being purity. Okay, it represented being purity. Okay. The Lovely T said, I can't mess with them spirits. All right. Terry Hinn said, many won't believe, but I do. Yeah. I mean, sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right there with the Diddy for now. We got to get into Kabami, honey. We got to get into Kabami. So likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. We're about to move on and move forward with Kamala news because Kamala has been exposed. I want y'all to pay attention. First of all, let's talk more about that interview because now it's come to my attention that they're blaming Brett Baer for being hostile towards Kabami. When in fact, it seemed to me that she was the one that was being hostile during the interview. But let's talk about it. I'm not surprised because the narrative's being painted. They don't say anything negative about Kabami Harris in the media, except for Fox News. Except for Fox News. Okay, I'm going to put that down right there. Okay. Now, here's what they say. Fox News and Brett Baer are still taking heat for the Kamala Harris interview. They say everyone knew she was stepping into unfriendly territory, but especially especially compared to Fox News's treatment of Donald Trump, it was downright hostile, they said. Okay, so it says, everyone knew that Vice President Kamala Harris was stepping into unfriendly territory, but many thought it was the right thing to do, okay, for her to go to do the interview, because the interviewer, Brett Bauer, would handle the interview with professionalism and journalistic integrity. As it turns out, Harris not only was walking into unfriendly territory, it was downright hostile. They say Baer badgered Harris with Republican talking points, asked her tough questions, which was fair, and asked her some unreasonable questions, which were unfair. He didn't ask her anything unreasonable, okay? He didn't ask her anything unreasonable. Here's the thing. He didn't ask her any softball questions. That's the problem. They say, but worst of all, Baer constantly interrupted Harris, cutting her off and often talking over her. Several times he put out his hand almost as a stop sign to signal that she needed to stop, even though Harris was answering. No, she wasn't answering. She wasn't answering what she was doing. Let me tell y'all what Kamala Harris was doing, honey. Kamala Harris thinks she is so slick and sly, okay? Please pay attention. One of the things that Kamala was doing, okay, one of the things that Kamala was doing, Duranda said, no, he didn't, Queen. Okay, yeah, he absolutely did. But one of the things that Kamala does, I want you all to pay attention. So when she's talking, right, and she's giving all this word salad, do you all know that she's literally doing that so she can stall? She's using that as a stall tactic. So she's using that as a stall tactic. She knows what she's doing at the end of the day. And she's really using it as a deflection tactic, which we already knew that was clear. But how was he being rude when she was the one that was rude? And half the time when he was trying to interrupt her, it was because she was trying to keep him from talking. I told you guys that she was trying to control the interview. That's what she was literally doing. She came off as hostile from day one, as soon as she sat down, in my opinion. And then she said, but I'm answering the question. And then when she would just ramble on and on and on. So because he knew that they had limited time, he would try to cut her off or interrupt so he can get to the next question. But she also knew that they had limited time, so she would just ramble on about BS to keep answering other questions, okay? Because she didn't want to answer some of those questions. She was gaslighting and deflecting, and then he turned around and bring it right back to her. He wouldn't let her get out of it. That's the problem. But hold on. So that was the immediate reaction following Wednesday night's interview that various media outlets described as tense, confrontational, contentious, and combative. She was the one combative, in my opinion. Now, the New York Times' Michael M. Greenbaum wrote after the interview saying that Vice President Kamala Harris may not get another debate with former President Donald Trump, but on Wednesday, she got one with Brett Baier. He said that Mr. Baer's aggressive demeanor was consistent with the kind of tough coverage of Miss Harris that blankets Fox News daily programming. And so a day later, and upon further review, what was the reaction? Well, it was pretty much the same. So on Thursday's Morning Joe, co-host Willie Geist said it goes without saying that Donald Trump would not have been given the same treatment, talked over, not allowed to finish those questions. And it doesn't mean the topics weren't fair. There was a lot in there that viewers wanted to hear from Kamala Harris. Why do you have different positions now than you did in 2019? How are you going to fix the immigration crisis? All fair questions. But Donald Trump obviously would never be treated that way on Fox News. You mean like how when they did the debate on ABC, how they fact-checked Trump, but not Kabami? And she was up there telling lies too. Now, CNN's Brian Stetler went back and compared Baer's style while interviewing Harris and last year with Trump. Stetler noted that Trump was asked some tough questions, and I remember praising Baer at the time, he says. But Stetler also wrote Baer was more animated when questioning Harris, as if he knew that Fox's conservative base wanted to see her squirm in her seat. No, you wasn't squirming your seat unless you didn't know what to say. Unless you didn't want to answer the questions directly. If someone asks you a question, you should be able to answer it, right? Only a person who's nervous or has something to hide would be squirming in their seat. So how's that Brett Baer's fault again? Please pay attention. Now, overall, Baer interrupted Harris at least 38 times in 27 minutes, about twice as often as Baer interrupted or interjected with Trump at least 28 times in 36 minutes. Okay. With that all being said, well, both Trump and Kabami talk too much at times. Now, Stedler also looked at Bear's opening question for Trump and Harris. The first Trump question was a softball. What do you think is the most important issue facing the country right now? His first question for Harris was way more aggressive. How many illegal migrants would you estimate your administration has released into the country over the last 3.5 years? Stedler commented with a striking difference with Trump. He warmed up his subject, tried to make Trump feel comfortable. With Harris, he went for the jugular right away. Morning Joe co-host Mika Brzezinski really blasted Bear, saying it was supposed to give viewers an opportunity to actually hear her plans as president. Well, here's the thing. You ought to pay attention to how they're caping for this woman and sitting there trying to push a whole nother different narrative. So yeah, it was supposed to give them the opportunity to view her, as a candidate that they may potentially want to vote for. The people who normally wouldn't be listening to her, basically the Fox News crowd. But hold on, this is all crazy. Now they're really gonna sit up here. I gotta let y'all see this. Hold on, I gotta let y'all see this TikTok I did about it yesterday because I got praises for this. Everybody was saying this was the best breakdown that they heard on this interview. Okay. Let me just pull this up real quick because they are sitting up here lying. They are really trying to act like, first of all, the reason we didn't get to see what she really would do as president is because she kept giving us word salad. She literally kept giving word salad when the man was asking questions and she wouldn't answer anything directly. So how is it his fault? Even if he was interrupting her or asking tough, it was all on her to get her point across, to just answer the questions directly. But all she did was bring up Trump. Now I want y'all to pay attention to this
Hello,
video.
everyone. I'm Dr. Ahmadiyyah Shakur. Let's talk about the Fox interview that Kamala Harris did. It was absolutely a train wreck, but let's get into it. I personally thought that Bret Baier did a very good job of asking the questions, but it seemed that Kamala didn't want to answer the questions directly. She seemed to have come in very hostile, as if she were already on the defense, and she also took on the tone, in my opinion, that she wanted to control the interview. She didn't seem like she was well prepared. She seemed as though she wasn't even prepared to answer the questions about the border and the amount of migrants that came over. She seemed very annoyed when he asked her about that, and she immediately began pointing the finger at Trump. Please pay attention. She, in fact, spent the entirety of the interview blaming everything on Trump. You'd have thought that he was the one in the White House for the past 3.5 years, not her and Biden, because everything that happened under their watch that Bret Baier asked her about, she simply shifted the blame and deflected and pointed the finger at Trump. I actually thought that she came on there and the purpose for her doing the interview was so that she could appeal to a different audience, people who were not supporting her and people who did not really plan on voting for her. Maybe that she could change things and turn things around. But if that's the case, it was an epic fail. She really dropped the ball when Bret Baier asked her if she wanted to apologize to the families of the victims, the 3 victims who lost their lives. But she just couldn't do it. Now, she offered her condolences, but condolences is a far cry from accepting accountability for your own actions that may have possibly led to those people losing their lives because the ones who took their lives were not vetted properly. She also dropped the ball when she tried to imply that Trump was unstable and acted as though there was something wrong with his cognitive abilities because Bret Baier quickly turned it around on her and then asked her about Biden's, to which she tried to act as though everything was just fine. There was nothing wrong with Biden. He was still in the right frame of mind, in fact, and that he was capable of making great decisions. But if that were really the case, why is she the one that's replaced him and she's now running for president and he isn't? Some of the things that she said I found to be hypocritical. She accused Trump of doing certain things that she herself also does, and in fact was doing right there during the interview. When she said that Trump demeans people and beats them down rather than lifting them up, at the end of the day, isn't that what she was doing for the entire interview? I mean, she literally said that Trump was mentally incompetent, okay? I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what she was alluding to. So isn't that, in fact, demeaning? I mean, please make it make sense. Now, mind you, I'm not saying that Trump hasn't on occasion done the same thing to her. In fact, he absolutely has. But the point of the matter is for her to be sitting there pointing the finger and saying that he does it when she does exactly the same thing is hypocrisy at its finest. She also mentioned Trump sending the military on peaceful protesters, which I also found hypocritical because here's the thing. This woman in the photo with her husband and children is on her way to a federal prison for 3.5 years. Why is she going there? Because Kamala Harris's DOJ is sending her there for peacefully protesting outside of an abortion clinic. And this is what her husband had to say in a post that he shared on social media. Today, I will drive my wife to a federal prison in Alabama as her offense is unlawful assembly. 3.5 years in federal prison. It's called political Christian persecution. Does life change a bit? Absolutely. Have I had dark nights? Absolutely. So many emotions, but God is good. Nonetheless, I love you forever, my love. We're going to ride this out, and I don't care what a media, judge, government, or jury has to say. Nothing can stop what God has put together, and the love we have is stronger than death. God will vindicate this family, and our children and their generation will know, and they will look to see what God has done. Now, if she wants to talk about peaceful protesters, why is this woman going to prison for 3.5 years for doing exactly that? Please pay attention. And there was the moment in the interview when she implied that Trump pushes fear because he has no policy. At the end of the day, that's exactly what she, Tim Walz, and many of the other Democrats seem to be doing. And yes, I said Democrats.
He has talked about turning the American military on the American people. He has talked about going after people who are engaged in peaceful protest. He has talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy.
I'm sorry, but that absolutely sounded like fear-mongering to me. And then she said that he's talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. Well, what about the fact that Tulsi Gabbard, who disagreed with her and specifically went in on her with facts and receipts and the 2019 debate, she's now conveniently on a terror watch list. Now, I'm just wondering how she got on there. Okay, please pay attention. The fact that she tried to pass off a policy that's for everyone as if it were something specifically for men of my skin tone, that was just also shady. And then the fact that she tries to pretend that people who look like me actually wash our collard greens in the tub. Yeah, I knew we couldn't trust her from the start. Please pay attention. Okay, please pay attention, all right? The end of the day, this is all nefarious. But hold on, let me continue. Now, it goes on to say, where was I? Okay, so Morning Joe co-host Mika Brzezinski blasted Bear, saying it was supposed to give give viewers an opportunity to hear her plans as president. Instead, as you saw, it was almost immediately devolved into an embarrassing bad faith effort by a once respected host to play to an audience of one. The host's constant rude interruptions were designed to distract from the issues and facts that Trump and his people try to twist, basically his supporters, and distract or distort every day. Brzezinski went on to say that when Kamala Harris realized the host was not going to let her speak, the only way the vice president could give Fox viewers an opportunity to hear what she had to say was to talk back over him. Wow, do you all hear this? She was the one talking over him initially. Said she had to do that. She had to talk back over him. Was he making sure that happened? Did she do well in this environment? Of course, she was great. She's a former prosecutor, attorney general, a senator, current vice president. Let me tell you all something. She's fine with the situation and even flourishes. Okay, let me just say this right here. Let me tell you all something. First of all, Kamala is not that smart. Okay, Kamala is not that smart. The college that she went to, I do believe, was ranked number 86. And she also failed the bar exam the first time. So I'm sorry. They could sit there and talk about her being a prosecutor, but was she a good prosecutor? Because when she was a prosecutor, she sat down to do legislation. Okay, at least 164 different legislative documents came past her, and none of them ever were put into law. Okay, none of hers were ever put into law. Hold on. Let me just go on. This is all crazy because this guy looks into it
And then I had to fact check it. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, and here's another thing. Don Lemon said that they lied about something. Said that Fox News lied about something when Kamala was on there. Now, let's get into that real quick. I almost forgot to show you guys this. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. This is Don Lemon going in on Fox News because he said they lied straight to Kabami's face. I think I agreed with him on this too. I think I did.
Okay, Fox News, you have a problem. You need to address this. This was one of the most egregious things in this interview, if not a flat out lie that you aired. Watch.
Are they misguided, the 50%? Are they stupid? What is it?
I would never say that about the American people. And in fact, if you listen to Donald Trump, if you watch any of his rallies, he's the one who tends to demean and belittle and diminish the American people. He's the one who talks about an enemy within, an enemy within, talking about the American people, suggesting he would turn the American military on the American people.
We asked that question to the former president today. Harris Faulkner had a town hall, and this is how he responded.
I heard about that. They were saying I was like threatening. I'm not threatening anybody. They're the ones doing the threatening. They do phony investigations. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the greatest gangster. No, it's true. No, but think of it. It's called weaponization of government. It's a terrible thing.
So,
Brett, I'm sorry, and with all due respect, that clip was not what he has been saying about the enemy within that he has repeated when he's speaking about the American people. That's not what you just showed.
He was asked about that specific...
No, that's not what you just showed. In all fairness and respect to you.
That was the question that we asked him.
He didn't show that, and here's the bottom line. He has repeated it many times, and you and I both know that. And you and I both know that he has talked about turning the American military on the American people. He has talked about going after people who are engaged in peaceful protest. He has talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy. And in a democracy, the president of the United States, in the United States of America, should be willing to be able to handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it. And this is what is at stake.
So here's the problem with that. She's right. This is what Donald Trump actually said.
Well, the people from within, we have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. And I think they're and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military, because they can't let that happen.
Now, Fox News, unless you address this, you're doing the American people and your viewers a disservice, because the people in your media bubble echo chamber will never see the truth. You put on television a flat out lie. Are you going to fix it?
Well, they haven't said anything thus far, so I don't think they're going to fix it. Now, you see, I'm here to tell the truth. I'm going to tell the truth whether you like it or not. And even if it's the truth about Kabami, or Trump, because they clearly lied. Okay, that's not what Trump was initially saying. Now, they got him to say that and all that, but that's not what he was initially saying. But here's the thing. When I posted this, I said on the caption, Fox was definitely misleading for not playing the entire clip. I agree with him on that. But I said, with that being said, there are some who are absolutely enemies within. So where's the lie? Because let's just keep it a buck. There are some enemies within. At the end of the day, wasn't there 2 or 3 attempted assassinations? All right. And so I'm sorry. But let's not forget that they also supposedly lied on Trump, too. If you all remember, for those of you that were on Lisa Cabrera's channel, when I was over there and I went in on that guy that got up on the screen sitting there talking trash about me and some other people saying we came for Trump. If you remember, there was a guy who got up there after both of us got off, and he said, because I didn't even know this, and I haven't verified it yet. But so this is alleged. But he says that they lied on Trump when they said Trump said there was very nice people on both sides about the Charlottesville protest. He said they didn't play the entire clip or it was edited. He said what Trump really said was there was good people on both sides protesting, but not the Nazis. That's what the guy said. Now I don't know because I haven't looked into it yet, but I just want you all to pay attention. But hold on, here's the receipt on Kamala. Let me share my screen again. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance.
Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump. Just the facts. You can fact check me. It's all true. Kamala. She graduated from Hastings College of Law. The law school is ranked 82nd out of 196 law schools. She graduated. She took her bar exam. She failed. She failed the exam. She has never had her own business, never had any of her own employees, ever. 2017 to 2021, she served in the California Senate. During those 4 years, she worked on 164 pieces of legislation. Not one of them ever became law. What makes it worse is that she's a liberal governing in a liberal state, and she was still 0 for 164. So during the 4 years, she accomplished nothing. As vice president, she has a record, the lowest approval rating ever in the history of this country, 28%. Donald J. Trump, he graduated from Penn's Wharton School of Business. It's ranked number 1 out of 124 business schools in the country. He has run many businesses over 53 years, employed hundreds of thousands of employees over that time. Currently, he has 22,450 employees split between men and women. That equates to hundreds of millions of dollars over time that have flowed into the economy. Personally, I don't just vote blindly along party lines. I just vote common sense. Let me keep it simple. If your parents had a company and you inherited this company and you didn't want to or couldn't run it yourself, who would you pick to run it? Kamala or Trump? Someone that has never run anything or someone that has run companies worth billions? Now let me extrapolate for a second. Forget about this company I was saying your parents own. What I'm really talking about is a company called the United States of America. Again, please, common sense. Thanks.
Okay, so I fact checked him. Like he said, you can Google it. And here's what I found. I already knew she had failed the bar. I already knew she had failed the bar the first time because here's what happened. She was working for a law firm as an intern, okay? And then after she finished her internship, they allowed her, because I found all this out back in 2019 because I did a very thorough expose on her, and I compared her to Linda Fairstein, the woman who was the prosecutor, and she's also a Democrat, the same woman who prosecuted the Central Park Five. I compared her to Kabami in a video that I did on Dr. Boyce's channel when I was on Fly Nubian Queen back in 2019. But aside from all that, so I already knew she failed the bar. But because actually she failed it and she couldn't believe it, okay, according to reports, she was shocked and couldn't believe it. And then she passed it the second time because they had actually made her like a training partner, not a training partner, but they hired her as a training prosecutor or something like that. Okay, so that all being said, University of California College of Law, San Francisco ranked number 82, okay, out of 196 best law schools. Schools were assessed on their performance across a set of widely accepted indicators of excellence. Now, here's the thing. 82 out of 196. Now, this school, University of California College of Law, when I saw this, I said, wait a minute, I think he made a mistake. But then upon further review, I found out that this was formerly called Hastings. Okay, so it's the same college she went to. It's just a different name now. Okay, you can look it up yourself, like you said. So with that all being said, but that ain't nothing. This is all nothing right here. Listen to this. Now, I want you all to pay attention because while she's sitting there talking about, oh, Trump said he's going to use the military against American citizens. Well, what the hell is her and Biden doing? Because this is what I found out. One's in the chat. If you have ever heard of DOD Directive 5240, okay, .01. Have you all ever heard about this? Became effective September the 27th of 2024. See, I be telling you guys that we be talking about Diddy, and that's all fine, but we got to be paying attention to what's going on around us. We can't be just stuck on Diddy, because some of this stuff can be a distraction if you're a one-track minded person. Now, y'all see this? You all see this? Let me see if I can enhance it. All right, look at that. Now let's talk about this document, because this is under her and Biden's watch. So you see when it started, Office of the Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security, September 27th, 2024. Now, I haven't read this whole thing yet. I have not had time. I intend to read it, though, because here's the thing. Hold on. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Okay, let's start right here. I'm going to read some of this, because this is nefarious. Let me see where I want to start at. Okay. Defense intelligence components may enter into contracts or arrangements for the provision of goods and services with commercial organizations. Okay, I don't want to go there. Hold on. In times of war declared by Congress, during a period covered by a report from the President to Congress in accordance with Public Law 93 to 148, or when such actions have been approved by the President, directed by the Secretary of Defense. No DoD citizen, employer, or member of the armed forces will engage in or conspire to engage in assassination. Defense intelligence components activities conducted under support agreements with other DoD components or non-DoD federal departments and agencies in accordance with, okay, let me skip past all this. This is a whole lot. I may just have to read this when I have more time. But it's something specific in here that I'm looking for. Hold on, beloveds. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Okay, let's stop right here. It says, unless otherwise precluded by, and it lists some statutes or whatever, participating in law enforcement activities to investigate or prevent clandestine intelligence activities by foreign powers or their agents in international terrorist activities or international narcotics activities, providing specialized equipment, technology, or technical knowledge or assistance by expert personnel for use by any federal department, agency, or when lives are endangered to support the state and local law enforcement agencies. The Defense Intelligence Component's legal office, subject to paragraph 2.2, will approve assistance from expert personnel in such case. When lives are in danger, rendering any other lawful assistance to law enforcement agencies or other civil authorities provided such assistance is consistent with and has been approved by an official pursuant to Section 2 of this issuance. Such official will ensure that the legal office of the providing DoD component concurs in this assistance. Dissemination lawfully collected information reasonably believed to indicate. Hold on. Hold on, I lost my place, Phillips. Hold on. Okay, dissemination of intelligence information where such information may be relevant to a violation of any federal or state law within the recipient's jurisdiction in accordance with Section 271 of Title. Okay, skip past all that. assistance in responding with assets with potential for lethality or any situation in which it is reasonably foreseeable that providing the requested assistance may involve the use of force that is likely to result in lethal force, including death or serious bodily injury. It also includes all support to civilian law enforcement officials in situations where a confrontation, now y'all listen to this, a confrontation between civilian law enforcement or civilian individuals or groups is reasonably anticipated. Such use of force must be in accordance with DODD. Did it list the number or whatever, potentially as further restricted based on the specifics of the requested support. So basically, this is talking about if a person, a regular citizen, gets into it with law enforcement, and that basically assistance in responding with assets. Basically, they're talking about the military, I do believe. Now, hold on. For matters not reserved to the Secretary of Defense in paragraph 3.3, the decision to approve requests for the types of permissible assistance, to law enforcement agencies and other civil authorities is reserved coordination with the Undersecretary of Defense policy is required if the number of requested personnel exceeds 20 people, the duration of the requested assistance exceeds 30 days. Hold on. The threat that providing the assistance will pose to the safety of both the general public and the defense intelligence component's workforce, including any personnel providing the assistance and the potential compromise of critical information or sources and methods as identified through the application of the operations security cycle outlined in National Security Presidential Memorandum 28. Okay, I'm gonna have to read all this on my own. At the end of the day, I don't want to keep wasting time on this, but let me just tell you what basically it's supposed to be saying. Okay, I want you all to pay attention to this. Hold on, let me get this off the screen. Now, this is supposedly a summation of it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Now, I'm gonna share my screen. Now, I'm gonna say this is alleged because I haven't read all of that document yet, but I want you all to pay attention. Do you all see this? You all see that, right? It says U.S. military now authorized to kill Americans on U.S. soil. That's the question it's asking. Now, new DOD directive drops. Now, this is from the Common Sense Show. And the Common Sense Show usually has accurate receipts. Now, this is what they're saying, and I'm going to say alleged because I haven't verified this. I have to read the entire document, but just from that little part I read right there, it was sounding like they were saying that they would get the military to assist law enforcement, or any authorities if there was any type of problem with U.S. citizens. Now, that's what it looked like it was saying, but I have to read it thoroughly. But here's what it says. As the U.S. prepares for one of the most controversial and closely watched elections in its history, a concerning update to DOD Directive 5240.01 has quietly been put into effect. Remember how I told you guys that when they pass these things, they always do it in the dark of night or when it's like something else is going on to distract us and keep our attention away from it, or when it's a holiday, they pass a lot of this stuff because everybody's caught up with Christmas and Thanksgiving. That's when they do it. Now, it says reissued on September the 27th of 2024, this directive governs the Department of Defense, DOD intelligence activities, and now includes provisions authorizing lethal force. Now, you saw I read that in that paperwork, lethal force in certain circumstances when assisting. Didn't I just read that to you? I said when the military is assisting, law enforcement. Now, while the directive forbids assassination, now y'all heard me read that part too, it opens the door to lethal interventions under national security conditions. The reissuance of DOD Directive 5240. .01 repealed previous versions, including the 1982 DOD 5240.1-R. While the update might seem routine, the changes regarding the use of lethal force in domestic operations are significant. Now, in the 2016 version, the directive primarily focused on intelligence collection and ensuring civil liberties protections for U.S. persons. It emphasized strict oversight and the need for authorization before collecting U.S. person information. However, the 2024 version expands the U.S. military's role, particularly in assisting civil law enforcement, and authorizes lethal force under specific conditions, raising questions about its use during potential civil unrest, according to surrounding the election. I want y'all to pay attention because I already told you all, and I can't substantiate this, but I already told you guys that it was brought to my attention, okay, that supposedly the Dems are saying that if Trump was to win, now, like I said, this is all alleged, that they wouldn't just certify him as the president. They're going to go through a whole lot of paperwork and stuff first. Now, with that all being said, what do you think that would cause the MAGA people to do? We already saw that riot at the Capitol on January the 6th. So if there was potential civil unrest surrounding the election, the relevant provisions from the updated directive are below via updated DOD Directive 5240.01, Section 3.3A, 2C, emphasis added. Okay, that's all I got to do. He literally gives you the section you need to read. Okay, I didn't even pay attention to that because I hadn't read all this either, just to be honest. Okay, now it says, subject to paragraph 3.1, defense intelligence components may provide personnel to assist a federal department or agency, including a federal law enforcement agency or a state or local law enforcement agency, when lives are in danger in response to a request for such assistance in accordance with the following approval authorities. Secretary of Defense approval. The Secretary of Defense may approve any type of requested permissible assistance described in paragraphs 3.2. Well, I just want you all to pay attention because while she's sitting there talking about Trump getting the military on people, that literally says Mel Shamiya King says Trump is racist. Yeah, I'm sure he is. And so have all the presidents been, except for Barack Obama. Okay? At the end of the day, all of the presidents have been racist. Which one hasn't? Please tell me which president has been racist. Put it in the chat. Somebody put it in the chat other than Obama, who still didn't do anything for us. Please tell me which president has not been racist. Okay, please pay attention. I don't care about who's racist and who's not. That's not what I'm here for. Okay? And look at support the arts talking about preach. Yeah, okay, you can preach all you want, but at the end of the day, they all been racist. So what's new? With that all being said, that basically sounds like they can take out citizens. Okay? But they have to have a good reason nonetheless. But the military? When did they start letting the military do this? So while Kabami is talking about Red Wine Entertainment says, yes, gratitude, Queen. Thank you, beloved. Okay, so with that all being said, Catherine says, check out the mother's testimony on YouTube. What mother, beloved? And what testimony? Skeletor fan said, I was thinking about the purge. Boli Folletti says, that sounds like martial law. Well, I heard some rumors about that too. Okay, I'm not going to get into that right now, but that's exactly what it sounds like. Okay, civil unrest. So they would get the military involved. So they have it already in this document right here that they can get the military on the American people. And this was just came out September. It was amended or updated September 27th of 2024. Kabami, did you forget about that? Did you forget to tell us? You and Biden? You see, I keep telling you guys, they keep proving my point. They keep proving my point. Look at support. Support the arts is so ridiculous. Talking about just like Trump wanted to mess up the 2020 election. Okay, so you're saying that's okay that they want to do this because that's what Trump did. At the end of the day, two wrongs don't make a right. But the bottom line is, my whole point has been, and I've continuously told you guys, that they always accuse Trump of the same stuff that they do. So let's not act like Trump's the only one that's nefarious, because they do the same thing he does. You see, these are two parties that have the same ultimate goal and objective. They just have different means of carrying it out. It's the same snake, two heads, the same bird, different feathers. Which one's different? Okay? Which one's different? Well, none of them. None of them. Chairman X says bingo. Thank you, beloved. Okay? Rue Garrido says, do your research. Trump is not against us. He is trying to save the nation. All right. Stefan Atkinson says Jimmy Carter. Abolia Folletti says bingo. Nita 3000 said, what makes Trump racist? Leon Gardner says, same bird, different wings. Exactly. Now, with that all being said, this is all nefarious, but still, y'all ain't heard nothing yet. I just wanted to tell y'all about that document because it sounds to me like they're saying they're going to get the military to come out there and murk folk if the law enforcement needs them out there in the case of any events of civil unrest, specifically during this coming election. So please pay attention. Again, this is all alleged. I am not saying that this is what's going to happen or that that's even what that paperwork says. This is all alleged, okay? Please pay attention, honey. I'm not trying to get ScrewTube to accuse me of anything. Now, with that all being said, Human Nature said Jimmy Carter was a sweet Christian man. He just turned 100. Yes, he absolutely did just turn 100. And at the end of the day, he also preaches down there in Plainville. Okay. Well, he was. I don't think he still does now. He's gotten more. He's gotten much older. Okay, so here's the thing. Now let's get into the real receipts on Kabami. Now this right here might blow some of your minds. So specifically support the arts. Now, I have to give credit where it's due. And here's the thing. At the end of the day, I just wish people would give me credit when they use my receipts. Because when I use anybody's receipts, I always give them credit. Now, Candace Owens, I know for a fact, I'm not going to say I know for a fact, I'm going to say in my opinion, but I believe that Candace, when she did that documentary on Black Lives Matter, that she used my receipts. Because y'all know I'm the one that broke that story February the 21st of 2021. I still have the video. You can check the timestamps. I'm the one that did the deep dive into Black Lives Matter. I'm the first one in the 7 years that Black Lives Matter had been existing at the time that ever talked about the money trail. I'm the one that tracked it all the way back to Back the Blue, which is something affiliated with George Soros. I'm the one that showed that they were giving a lot of the money that was donated to the Democratic vendors, Bernie Sanders and Biden. They were the top two. Okay, that they collected $90 million in donations in 2020 and only gave about $500 of it to the families of victims. I'm the one that broke that story, and 3 days later, one of the mainstream media outlets did it. Just like I'm the one that broke that story about them having the CDC and the World Health Organization having zombie preparedness protocols. And after I broke that story also, then the news comes out and starts talking about it, but they try to play it off like it was a joke, like it was all meant to be funny, and saying that they just called it zombies, but they was really talking about hurricanes. And said they use the word zombie because it's popular in pop culture. I just want y'all to pay attention. Now, with that all being said, because y'all know I'm shadow banned. Everybody's saying facts. Fanny Lovett says, you was queen. I remember. Thank you, beloved. Okay, so I just want y'all to pay attention because, you know, ScrewTube never shows my real amount of subscribers or views because I'm on shadow banning. Y'all know why I'm shadow banned because all that stuff I started spilling the tea about, including Hillary's emails. All right, so with that all being said, SDB, the truth writer, says, that's why you are a queen of social real media. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. Okay, so this is all crazy. This is all crazy. So let's continue because I'm about to show y'all something. Hold on, let me just pull this up. I can't wait to show y'all this. Hold on. Here it is right here. Now, I'm going to give credit where it's due. I'm going to give credit where it's due, even though Candace didn't give me any credit. When I do believe she used my receipts, I'm going to give her credit because this is Candace Owens' receipts. This is Candace Owens' receipts, honey, at the end of the day, and it's all nefarious. Wait till y'all hear this when she done dug up on Kabami. Let me put a little like on her video while I'm at it. Okay, so that all being said, I'm going to put an overlay on the screen because I don't want any problems about copyright and all of that. But y'all, get ready for it. Support the arts. Get ready to cry in the car, honey, because it's about to go down. Now, I want y'all to listen real close to what Candace says.
Asked around.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me see the timestamp real quick. Hold on. Okay.
This grandma had that something was off, okay? And what was off was just the photos they were presenting. These people were too Black. And then once we started looking into it, the fact that her campaign just shut off the tap on speaking about her Blackness. They just wanted to move on as if she had never said it. It was the entire brand. Remember, that's the pitch. She's going to be the first Black female president of the United States. The media was trying to sell that, to force feed that to us.
Hold on. Dan says folks in the chat talking trash about Carter Queen. Honey, I don't care. They can talk about Carter if they want to at the end of the day. At the end of the day, they can talk about Carter if they want to. At the end of the day, honey, I don't care what they say. Thank you, beloved, for letting me know and for your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. At the end of the day, just don't put anything disrespectful in my chat. Because everybody's entitled to their opinion. You see, that's the thing. Everybody is welcome to their opinion. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with my views. But as long as you're respectful, I don't have a problem with it. They don't have to agree with what I say about former President Jimmy Carter. That's on them. Now, let's continue.
And I said, Black scientific theory says, no, this ain't your grandma. But I was receiving a ton of emails from people that were insisting that Beryl was Kamala's grandmother. Among the emails were a flurry of people suggesting that I speak to a woman known as Lady Colin Campbell. She also goes as Lady C. I'm familiar with her work. I've seen her. She's written in the Daily Mail before, or has been written about in the Daily Mail. She's a British Jamaican author and a socialite who grew up in Jamaica. And she is deep on genealogy. She's written several books regarding the British royals. This woman likes history. She likes facts. And someone had sent me a clip of her from her YouTube channel during which she was fielding questions and people were asking her to look into my research into Kamala Harris. And she said, rather offhandedly, that she had asked around and that she had a friend that was on the island who had confirmed to her that Beryl was, in fact, Kamala's grandmother, seemingly putting to rest all of my theories. But I remained completely undeterred and I just ignored it. Lady C said that she was hoping to host that friend on her podcast in the future and that the woman would spill all of the tea on how she knew Kamala's grandmother, Beryl. So I just waited. I waited for the future to arrive, and guess what? The future has arrived. And as promised, Lady C hosted Dorothy, that's the woman's name, Dorothy, the woman who knew Grandma Beryl. And I will tell you, the conversation did not go as Lady C expected. I think primarily because people who did not watch every episode of this series into Kamala were not quite understanding what we were uncovering. There were all of these people making response videos. I was going, you clearly did not watch everything that we're doing. We never said that Beryl did not exist. We always believed that Beryl existed. We simply did not believe that the woman that was presented in Kamala's book was her. We believed that this was a case of stolen identity. Essentially, there was a Beryl, but the woman that was being pictured was not the grandma, and they were playing funny business like commies do, switching identities. And it was strange that even though Kamala presented a picture of Grandma Beryl in the book, she didn't mention her at all in the book. What's up with that? You're just trying to blackify yourself. But Lady C likes research. Lady C was good on her word. She hosted Dorothy. So let's watch the first part of their conversation. This is Dorothy, again, the Jamaican woman who grew up and knew Grandma Beryl, Miss Beryl, personally. Take a listen.
Greetings from Castle Goring from Mickey Aurora.
Hold on, let me stop for a second. Thank you, Samantha, for your super sticker, beloved. Contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, now I'm going to put a picture. This is the lady that's talking. This is the black lady, the Jamaican. And this is the lady, the white lady is the lady whose channel it is. Okay, so please pay attention. Now let's continue.
And from me, we have a special guest with us today, Dorothy Otti, who is an old friend of mine. She's Jamaican, and she used to know Miss Beryl very well. They grew up in the same village.
Well, I grew up in the village where Miss Beryl lived. She was a lot older than me, of course. And Miss Beryl was the grandmother of Vice President Kamala Harris.
Yes.
And she was just the most delightful lady. I have such fond memories of her. Excuse me. So there's a sweet that you have in Jamaica as a child, or grown-ups eat the sweet that's made from coconuts and caramelized sugar, and it's called a buster. Have you ever had?
Darling, in my day it was called Bustamante backbone.
Okay, so it was called a buster. And Miss Beryl had a shop. And in the mornings, my Uncle Cecil would take me by the hand. We'd go up the road for a walk. And on the way, everyone that goes past, it would be, "Good morning, Mas Cecil. And how are you, Miss Dar?" And by the time we got to Miss Beryl's shop, she would either offer me a buster or this other delicious sweet called a paradise plum.
Yes, I remember paradise.
Yeah,
plums.
but Miss Beryl, she was just so lovely. We would have these conversations as a little girl whenever I went past with Uncle Cecil, and it was always, "How are you doing with your books? Are you reading? Are you learning your times table?" Of course, she was a businesswoman. So she was very good at things like mathematics, of course. And she was, looking back now, you could see she was a trailblazer. Because the shop that she had, she actually built it herself. So we lived in a village, and her shop was the only what you would call an upstairs, downstairs house. All the other houses were like bungalows on one level with gardens and stuff. I remember in our garden, we had gladiolas.
Okay, a couple of things flagged to me as interesting there. So she was really good at mathematics. Okay, so we're talking about a Black person. Again, this would not have been more than a couple of decades removed from slavery. And she was really good at mathematics, extremely well-read, owned and operated a shop, and had the biggest house. What are we talking about? This doesn't feel like the correct kind of a Black story that I'm used to. A couple of generations ago, you go back, most Black people have my grandparents' sharecropping farm. I mean, maybe, who knows? I'm like, okay. Very clearly, though, we know she's telling the truth right away, because this is a good fact check against what Donald Harris wrote when he wrote a story about their Jamaican heritage for Jamaican Online Global. And he talked about those bustas. He talked about him and his sister Enid and how they loved the bustas. I think he said it was around Easter time. So everything she's saying sounds correct. But it was this part, this next part, that instantly let me know that this woman was the real deal, because she presents a detail, something that I know to be a fact that I had not ever presented to the public. Remember when I told you that I got on the phone with a family member of Kamala Harris, and that family member told me that Donald Harris had two siblings, Enid Harris, who I have spoken to you guys about, and another sibling who I had never mentioned. It was Beryl's son, and his name was Kenneth. And this woman starts speaking about the Kenneth that I had never mentioned, who would be Donald Harris's brother. Take a listen.
Was it a village or was it a hamlet? How many people would have been in it? How many houses? How many residents?
So at one time, everyone that lived there, it was a village. There was Probably about 80 or 90 people. But at one time, everyone that lived there was a relative of mine.
Really?
Yes.
What about Miss Beryl?
So this would have been before people such as Miss Beryl moved there. But before that, everyone who lived there, and even as a child growing up, most of the residents were connected in some way on my father's side, my grandfather's side, where they were all related. But Miss Beryl, my darling, also had a son. He was called Kenneth, and Kenneth had a motorbike, the equivalent of what we would now call a Harley Davidson. And of course, so at the time I would have been no more than 4 or 5. I'm not interested in what make your bike is. And he would put me on the front of the bike, whenever I came past with Uncle Cecil, and I would sit there and he would switch the engine on. And of course, looking back now, I realize the bike never moved, but he just held on to me, and I thought I was riding a bike, and I grew up absolutely loving motorbikes. He was very handsome.
Oh, Beryl must have had some money. Her son has the equivalent of a Harley Davidson. He was very handsome. He's got riding around on his motorbike. What are we talking about here? Like I said, this is when I knew that this woman was dialed in, because I had never spoken about Kenneth publicly, not for any particular reason. I just literally hadn't gotten around to it, as I've been collecting all of this evidence to present to the public on Kamala's family and looking into Enid and looking into Kenneth. So very interesting. Again, sounds like this Beryl had a lot of money. It's just not giving the person that is pictured in Kamala's book. Now, of course, naturally, Kamala Harris then comes up in this conversation. And Dorothy keeps this same positive energy. She's very positive, right? She has a spirit about her. She has this fond memory, delightful. She's delightful in her approach about Beryl. And she's delightful in her approach about Kamala. And Kamala's features. She really likes Kamala's facial features. I'll tell you why. Take a listen.
And Miss Beryl, by the way, I see Vice President Harris on the box. And I sit up straight and I think, my God, she looks so much like Miss Beryl. Her facial features, the only thing is Miss Beryl was much smaller in stature, but
well, okay, if Miss Beryl, because Kamala is very fair-skinned.
Right.
Was Beryl fair-skinned?
Yes, she was.
She was?
She was. She was fair-skinned.
She was? Okay.
Yes, she was very fair-skinned.
Oh.
With black hair.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So she was so fair-skinned that now that I'm older and I can spot people by their skin coloring, etc., for me, I would say there was something Irish there.
How interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say somewhere along the line, she would have had ancestors that were Irish.
Ancestors that were Irish. Now, please pay attention, because Kamala's father is Irish and Indian, according to his own words. Don't you all find that interesting? Don't you all find that interesting? Okay, so let's continue.
Yes.
Actually, can I show you a photograph?
Of course.
Of an old lady.
Yes.
And some people speculate that this is Miss Beryl.
Right.
So, sorry, bear with me.
Now, I'm going to show you guys the same picture that she's showing this lady. I'm not going to show the video, but I do have the picture queued, so I'm going to show you the same picture that she's going to show her, to ask her if this is Kamala's grandmother.
I am so untechnological. Okay. It's just pathetic. Yeah. There we go.
Okay. Nah, that's not Miss Beryl.
That's not Miss Beryl.
That's definitely not Miss Beryl.
Says that's not Miss Beryl. Here's who she showed her. Remember that picture that's supposed to be in Kamala's book? I told you all that lady was one of the descendants of the Jamaican slaves that Kabami's family owned. And let's not forget, they supposedly allegedly got paid reparations when slavery ended, just like the people here in America did. But that's who she just showed her. And she said, no, that's not Miss Barrow, but let's keep listening.
Okay.
That's not Miss Barrow.
So
And
that means you have to just show.
Yeah.
So
that is not Miss Barrow.
That's not Miss Barrow.
Definitely not Miss Barrow.
Okay.
And I know what she looks like. I couldn't have been in a dream, and she definitely did not look like that.
There's another person, but could that be Miss Barrow?
No, that's not
That's
Miss Barrow. That's not
That's
Miss
the other
Barrow
picture.
either.
Okay.
Don't know who that is.
Oh.
That's the other picture that she showed her and asked her, is this Miss Barrow? And she said, no, she's much lighter. That doesn't look, that's not her. Okay, I want y'all to pay attention because these people were descendants of the Jamaican slaves, honey. Okay, allegedly.
Okay.
That's not Miss Barrel. That ain't Miss Barrel. You know, as you were describing the fair skin and looking like Kamala, I was thinking this can't be the Miss Barrel grandma that's in Kamala's book. And clearly you see Lady C's going, wait, fair skin? What? Maybe is this? Nope, that's not Miss Barrel. I didn't dream. That's not Miss Barrel. Yeah, that sounds about right. You're saying Irish. And that's funny because Judge Joe Brown had a very distinct memory that Donald Harris told him that he was Irish and Hindu. And things are starting to add up, not in Kamala Harris's favor. And I don't know what to say here, ladies and gentlemen, other than I am truly, untypically speechless. I don't think I possess within me the adequate vocabulary to discuss my distaste for a woman who borrowed a Black person for her autobiography so that she could secure the Black vote. Do you understand how fundamentally racist that is? Do you understand how despicable that is? I mean, you have to be the worst kind of political vermin to borrow a Black person to put in your book, to present to the public as your grandma.
Okay, I'm going to stop right there because I can clearly say that we've heard enough. Okay, what do you all have to say? What do you have to say? Support the arts. Your girl's exposed. And let's not forget that Candace says that she spoke to an actual relative of Kabami's. Got her barring Black folks' lives, honey. This is all crazy. Oh, really said the devil is a liar and a deceiver too in the word. Okay. The writer said blasphemous. This is all crazy. Jay Gray says she is caught again lying, stealing identities. Allegedly. Human Edge said this is disturbing. To lie about your ancestry and put people in the book who are clearly not your relatives is diabolical. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. Tradina says the wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget God. Psalm 9:17. All right. Oh, hold on. Somebody said Candace doesn't recognize the irony. I know, right? Don't you love it? Hold on, you guys. Somebody's giving me a call. Let's have a word from my sponsor. Hold on. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
All right, so don't forget that you can purchase your 12 Tribes hair oil at Etsy.com. Look for Lisa Crafts, and also you can find it at Walmart.com. Now, Vince I Am from the UK says, the Queen of Receipts strikes again, Kabamians. What say you now? Vince I Am, you are nefarious, okay? Yeah, what do y'all have to say? Support the arts. Where are you, beloved? I don't hear anything. You're being awfully quiet in the chat. Cookie said that is all she knows is to lie. Okay. Stolen identity is real, says Jay Great. Mm, mm, mm. All right. Well, so anyway, honey, I think my job here is pretty much done. SBD, the truth writer says, is that considered plagiarizing? It's considered lying. I know that. Plagiarism is when you copy someone's literary works. Okay. That's plagiarism. Now, with that all being said, there was something else. Hold on, because there was some news that just came out about a few hours ago. Trump says he was surprised that VP Trump says he was surprised that hold on. Wait a minute. Donald Trump roasts the crowd at New York City's Al Smith charity dinner, rips Kamala. Roasted the crowd. Hold on, let me see if I can find the video of this. This is all crazy. Likes up, likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Hold on, let me see if this is it. I think this is it right here. Yep. Let me make sure there's no music playing. This is all crazy. Let me get this from a news outlet. I don't want. Excuse me. I'm losing my voice. I don't want to. I'm gonna use CNN's. Yeah, I'm gonna use CNN's. I'm gonna share my screen. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. This is all nefarious. Trump's out here roasting people now. Oh, I told y'all he should be a comedian.
Attended the Al Smith charity dinner for Catholics in New York on Thursday night. He slammed Harris for skipping the event and sending a video message instead. Trump called her absence disrespectful, saying it's a tradition for both presidential nominees to show up. Here he is.
They called me weird. They called JD weird. We're very solid people. This guy is calling us weird, but this was weird that the Democrat candidate is not here and with us tonight.
The former president gave a speech full of jokes, taking jabs at prominent Democrats, including Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, who was seated next to the podium, and Trump also made fun of his legal troubles.
It's a true pleasure to be with you this evening. Amazing pleasure. And these days, it's really a pleasure anywhere in New York without a subpoena for my appearance.
Now, listen to this, because Brett Baier says that he, in fact, made a mistake during the Kabami interview. He said, I did make a mistake, and he's going to address it. I guess after Don Lemon called them out. I'm just waiting for this to cue, beloveds.
Tonight, that interview on Fox News, Brett Baier made a mistake, and he owned up to it today.
Yeah. I want to say that I did make a mistake. When I called for a soundbite, I was expecting a piece of the enemy from within, from Maria Bartiromo's interview, to be tied to the piece from your town hall, Harris, where you asked the former president about the enemy from within. It just had the piece about the town hall.
And it was misleading because of that, because it admitted the frankly, wild statements that Trump made and then doubled down on.
A screw up on Fox's part, but Harris was ready for it. She used it to her advantage. And 24 hours later, I've spoken with Harris aides who feel very good about the interview. They believe that she scored points in that interview, and they're promoting the Fox clips all over the web. So ultimately, this may be a positive for her.
My moderate to severe Crohn's symptoms kept me out of the picture. With Skyrizi.
Okay, I want you all to pay attention. Now, they said that may work out in Kabami's favor. Well, that's good. It should. I mean, don't tell lies. Don't mislead people and give fake news and fake evidence, okay, whether it's on Trump or Kabami. All right? I mean, and if we really do our thorough research, we don't have to make up lies on either candidate. We can just find the truth and hit them with that. No need to make up lies. Okay, so Support the Arts said, if you don't support Kamala, you don't support America. You sound just like a blue Magian. Okay, that's what you all do. Here's the thing. Let me say this to Support the Arts. You see, I want you to pay attention, Support the Arts. I want you to pay attention to how you're the only one who's ever in here criticizing other people about whom they're supporting. No one criticizes you for supporting Kabami. No one says a thing. No one really criticizes you. But yet, you always want to criticize people who don't support Kabami. You see, that's what these Kabamians do. Are you all paying attention? Didn't I tell you that they're the ones that are divisive? It's not Trump being divisive. It's not the Republicans being divisive. It's not Trump's MAGA supporters being divisive, because MAGA don't give a darn who supports Trump, because they know they're going to. But these Kabamiites, let's call them that, the Kabamiites, okay, they get mad. And the reason they're mad is because they're pressed. Because they're concerned that if we all don't just get together and get in cahoots and in unison and in concert and collectively support Kabami, that she might lose. That's why they're pressed and stressed. That's why they try to go in on us if we don't support her. If we tell the truth, and it's not the truth they want to hear. If we say Kabami did this and we show the receipts, they ignore that. And they immediately resort to bringing up Trump. The same thing their leader does. The same thing their leader, Kabami, does. Isn't that what she does? Isn't that what she does? She resorts and blames everything on Trump, like she did during that Fox interview. And that's the same thing the Kabamiites do. Okay? Sandra says, we support the Most High God, Ahmadiyyah. Okay? Exactly. Ahmadiyyah. Now, with that all being said, Human Nature says Kamala is going to lose. This is the first time that a Democratic nominee has lost this many black voters. It absolutely is. But I don't think she's going to lose, because I think that something's already set in place. That's what I think, beloved. I don't think she's going to lose. Support the Arts says, can you please denounce Trump with the same fervor as you do Harris? I would feel better. Support the Arts, beloved. I'm not here to make you feel better. I'm not here to make you feel better. That's what I'm not here to do. At the end of the day, if you don't like the fact that I go in on Kabami, that's just too bad for you. But here's the thing. I have denounced Trump just a few days ago when I was on Lisa Cabrera's channel. And just yesterday, I played the same audio. Now, I never said that I was voting for Trump. And if you think I'm voting for Trump, I don't care. I don't care what anybody thinks. Okay? I don't care what anybody thinks. Because when I log off this computer and I close out the broadcast, most of these people don't know me anyway. So do you think I'm really pressed and stressed about what people think? Of course not. Of course not. I have no worries. But with that all being said, if you think I'm voting for Trump, that's because that's what you want to think. That's another ignorant thing that Kabamiites do. If anybody doesn't say they support Kamala, if anybody's against her, has contrary views and opinions, they immediately say, even if you tell them that's not what you're doing, they'll still tell you that, oh, you're a Trump lover. Oh, you're voting for Trump. Oh, you support Trump. Now, the reason they say that is to try to make you feel shamed. That's what that is. But you can't shame me, honey, because if I want to vote for Trump, I will. And I don't give a damn who doesn't like it. Okay? If I want to vote for Trump, I'll boldly say it. I don't have to lie to y'all about anything. All right, so please pay attention, honey. Do you not know who I am at this point? Okay? Do you not know who I am at this point? DJ Big Six said they've drank the Kool-Aid. Yes. Okay, SBD says we are hold on. Chat's moving quickly. SDB says we are a republic, not a democracy. Exactly. I said the same thing days ago, beloved. All right. Cat Eye says, now that sounds cultish, which is why I'm now independent. Democrats are a whole mess. Yes, they are. And they want us to stay stuck on the democratic plantation, as support the arts clearly is. Franco says Trump 2024. Okay. Sister B said, I agree, Queen. There are many prophecies that state Kamala will be in the White House. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. And just so y'all know, I did a reading on Kabami. Kabami's going to be in that White House, whether we like it or not. Okay. She knows it too, because she already knows what they got in place for her. And it's all nefarious. Okay. That's why when she was she was on some interview, I think it was the Fox interview. Yeah. When she said, I'm going to win, but it's not going to be easy. She said, I'm going to win, but it's not going to be easy. And here's the thing. Is that why they had to amend that document, the DOD Directive 5240.01, for civil unrest, specifically during the election? Is that why they had to do it? Because they know that people is going to be mad as hell and people are going to be saying that it wasn't fair. I want y'all to pay attention. Claudette says, I hope not, Queen. Get ready for it because it's coming, beloved. Okay, it's coming. Buckhorse DC said World War III has been declared. Good luck, y'all. Eric says the fix is in. Haven't I been telling y'all that it is? In my opinion. Okay. So anyway, Tanya C said, I pray Kabami doesn't win. Bobo said, this is some evil-ish. Yisan said, do devils play fair? We already know they don't. Support the Art said, why would people be mad that a wannabe dictator could be defeated? Well, I don't know. You should ask yourself that question, beloved. I don't have the answers. Okay, I don't have the answers. Lisa Jackson says, tell them, Queen, vote for whoever you like. Exactly, beloved. Okay, and thank you for your contribution to the channel and your insight to the topic. Peace, love, and blessings to you. All right, support the arts. Here's the thing. Why would you be mad if somebody doesn't support Kabami? Why do you get mad at people? Why do any of you Kabami supporters get mad at people? You know, I was on TikTok the other day reading some of the comments, and they were clearly nefarious. There was a bunch of black women who support Kabami, and they were saying that black men don't like black women. They were saying that black men are mad at black women, and they don't want a black woman to lead, saying all kinds of ignorant stuff. Now, I'm sure these black women who are saying this don't have a black man, and they're mad, butthurt, bitter. Because they don't have a man. If they had a black man, would they really be saying that? Okay, would they really be saying that? Tanya C said Trump is not a dictator. He's trying to save this country. Nubian Cutie, thank you for your contribution to the channel, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings. Vince I Am said the Queen is always spot on with her predictions. Thank you, beloved. Oh, Lord, here comes support the arts. And I'm concerned because Trump is dangerous to the Republic and to the world. How is he dangerous to the Republic and to the world? Tell us how he's dangerous. Because you know who's dangerous, in my opinion? Kabami. I think Kabami's dangerous. I think the Democrats are dangerous. Notice how many people have come up dead around Democrats. Okay, let's talk about it. There was that man, Larry Sinclair, who said some things about Barack Obama. He turned up dead. There was the choir director, 27-year-old black choir director, who supposedly had some things, secret things with Barry Obama. He turned up dead. There was that chef who was working for Barry. He turned up dead. There was the assistant who worked for Hillary, who turned up dead. That supposedly had something to do with her emails. Turned up dead. Okay. I have a whole lot of questions, is all I'm saying. Why did all these people turn up dead around these Democrats? Y'all don't notice this? Who's turned up dead around the Republicans? That's what I want to know. Anybody have anybody they can put in the chat? Any names or affiliations? I have questions. So I said, all right, I give up. I see most of you don't want to change your ways. And why should we? Why should we, beloved? Why can't you change your ways and join us? Why do we have to join you? We don't want to join your Kabamiite cult. Kobe Dick says she go have a hate crime bill to the Venezuelan gangs. Okay? I wouldn't be surprised, beloved. I would not be surprised. Cat Eye says bodies drop when the Democrats are on watch. Exactly. Now, what's up with that? Who's really dangerous? Please pay attention. New Orleans, Yahuwah's daughter says the second Exodus is drawing near. The 400 years is up. Okay? Black women don't try to change the narrative to suit a silly narrative of black men hating on black women, says Queen Sam. Yeah, that's what they were doing on TikTok, beloved. That's what they was trying to do on TikTok. It's gender politics. And you know where that all comes from, right? It comes from the Democrats. You see, look at how they sent Barry Obama to come out here and talk to the black men. And then they specifically said the black men are the ones not supporting Kamala. When the truth of the matter is there's plenty of black women who don't support her either. So why would they single out the black men? Well, because they knew that the black women who do in fact support Kamala would get mad. And that would cause a divide. Remember how I keep telling you guys that the biggest strategy, the most successful strategy is divide and conquer? Tortured Soulster says, I thought that Larry Sinclair was dead too, but he showed up at Tucker Carlson several months ago, which was great to see. Several months ago, Larry Sinclair is supposedly dead, honey. Hold on, let me go back and look. Now, I know I read this man died. Hold on. Hold on, I'm going to share it on the screen when I find it. Hold on. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Here it is right here. Here it is right here. They got a whole obituary about this man. But hold on. Somebody's planting stories. Somebody's planting stories. Hold on, because here's what it says right here. Now I'm going to share this on the screen. Y'all see this? This is a picture of him right here. It says Larry Joe Sinclair, January 8th, 1939 to January 4th, 2020. Oh, this isn't the same Larry Sinclair. This man was 80 years old. But this is the same picture. Hold on. Hold on, beloveds. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Let me see what these people wrote on here. Y'all see this picture, right? I want y'all to pay attention. Y'all see that picture right there? Okay, now, let me stop the share for a second and go back. Now, we got to go to Tucker Carlson. And then here's an article from 2008. Sinclair is familiar in to political junkies and reporters as the source of outlandish allegations about Senator Barack Obama. Hold on. Now, here's where it gets interesting. They have the picture of the Larry Sinclair that exposed Obama. Let me share it on the screen. What's really going on here? What's really going on here? Y'all see that? That's the same man right there. Now I gotta go find that Tucker Carlson article. Torture Sosa says the headline on YouTube is this 0.2 1030. Man tells Tucker that he had relations with Obama. So you mean to tell me this man is not even dead? Now, who planted that story? Because it said that Larry Sinclair, who is Larry Sinclair? He's the man, and Larry Sinclair is a name that until recently may have escaped your notice. His notoriety stems from a series of scandalous accusations directed at former U.S. President Barack Obama. The allegations involved alleged drug use in an S encounter dating back to 1999. Okay, now let me find that Tucker Carlson interview real quick. This is all nefarious. This rabbit hole is going deeper and deeper. I want y'all to pay attention. Okay, here we go, right here. This is on Facebook. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen. Now, this is the same picture they had on that obituary. I want y'all to pay attention. These people be out here planting fake stories. See, I told you all it's going to get worse, too, when they start using AI. Now, y'all see, this is the same man right here. And he does look like he's about 80 years old, if we're just being honest. Hold on. But that's not the same person. Okay, so let's hear this.
Interesting because he ends up showing up at my hotel room, which I thought was somewhat weird, but
he wanted some more.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say he showed up,
he showed up. I mean, I had.
Hold on. Just to make sure, I'm going to put this on the screen. I don't want any problems. Y'all know how YouTube does.
No warning. I was in the room. There's a knock on the door. I open the door and he's standing there. And he's standing there with more coke and he comes in and it was just like a quick, rehash or rerun from the night before.
Exact same program.
Exact same program.
Was he smoking again?
Yep.
So Barack Obama smokes crack and then you perform oral sex on him.
And like I said, the only reason I had come out about it is I had reached out to the campaign even in 2007, only because I saw all these kids getting excited about it.
Okay, wait, so how did that end? Like
same way. So you get off, you finish smoking, you leave.
Like, thanks, bye?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. What did you think of him?
I thought it was interesting. I thought it was definitely a con. I felt that it was a game for him. It was like, okay, what am I going to get out of it? Or is there something I can get out of it other than just, the sexual part?
Right.
And lucky for me, I wasn't going back to Chicago anytime soon, so it really didn't matter.
So you were left with a bad taste in your mouth?
Something, yeah. Yeah.
This is all nefarious. This is all nefarious. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all know what's going on here. Y'all know what's going on here. I want you all to pay attention because they've done this before. Hold on. I want y'all to pay attention. Now, they've done this before. Plant a fake story. Because they did the same thing with Jonathan Oddie, the guy that accused Diddy of being gay and said that Diddy, Rick Ross, and DJ Khaled were all messing around with each other, said that he was Diddy's sex slave. And I didn't mean to say that, but too late. Said that he had about 15 encounters with Diddy and Cassie, and Diddy gave him the STD that starts with an H. And I'm not talking about HIV. But nonetheless, and said he sued Diddy for it. Jonathan Oddie. But where is Jonathan Oddie at now? Because he's nowhere to be found. He's nowhere to be found. And they had reports coming out saying that he was dead. And then they had reports coming out saying that he had to go to court. So last year. So this is what they do. They do this So that when you start saying certain things, they can say it's fake news. They can say it's conspiracy theories. I want y'all to pay attention to how slick they are. They plant these bogus stories so that you'll see the bogus stories and think they're true. And they'll have like the right face and all of that, the right name and all of that. And then come to find out it's not even that. This is all crazy. Now, somebody had put something in the chat yesterday about what was that guy's name? What was that guy's name? Jimmy, oh God, Jimmy Savile was over there in the UK. He was knighted by the Queen and all of that. They were talking about him being one of those PDF files. I did a story on him a few years ago. Okay, I did a story on him for years ago because I need to bring him back up too because he has something to do with a lot of this stuff. Okay, even though he's dead. But with that all being said, you know, I think that this is all so sketchy. Okay, so anyway, thanks for that. Whoever put that in the chat, I can't remember who it was. Okay, Nita said, "I'm from Chicago. Obama was rumored to be gay." Yeah, of course he was. Absolutely, beloved. Okay, hold on. Let me look for something else real quick. Now, this is something that I showed you all a couple of years ago. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Is this it right here? Obama, is this a book that somebody wrote? It says Obama and the Murder of Don Young. Sylvia's last case, getting away with murder. This is a book. Don Young must be the choir director because that's what I was typing in. That's who I was looking for. Hold on, let me see something here. Choir director's death is a mystery. Yeah, that's him. Hold on. Now, this is all alleged. Chicago choir director's death, a mystery. And this was December the 27th of 2007, conveniently right before Obama was running for election or became president. Now, this is what it says. Southside deacon at Trinity United Church of Christ found shot multiple times in his home on Sunday, December the 26th of 2007. Okay, Sun Times staff reports. Chicago police were searching for answers Tuesday about who shot and killed a beloved choir director and teacher in his Southside home. Meanwhile, funeral arrangements were set for Donald Young, who for 2 decades directed the choir at Trinity United Church of Christ, a high-profile African-American church. Donald Young, choir director of Trinity United Church, was murdered. U.S. Senator Barack Obama attends the church at 400 West 95th Street at the Brainerd community. It says here that he was 47. I thought he was 27. It says Young, 47, also a deacon at Trinity, was found shot in the head by his roommate Sunday morning. They say he suffered several gunshot wounds, according to authorities. Young's roommate came home around 7:30 a.m. He found the door to the apartment in the 2300 block of East 69th Street or East 69th unlocked but closed, according to police. Christmas presents and some jewelry were missing, but people have not yet settled on robbery as the motive, or the police have not settled on robbery as a motive. The roommate is cooperating with investigators. The popular Young was also taught 4th grade at the Guggenheim Elementary School. Reverend Jeremiah Wright Jr., longtime pastor of the church, said Young lived and breathed music. Now, y'all remember when Obama used to go to Jeremiah Wright's church, and then he really pretty much, backed away from him after he started running for president. This is all alleged, okay? And Obama may not even know this man. Dr. Wright severed ties with Barry at the church. I want y'all to pay attention. So that young man, Susan Butler said, my cousin went to that church, okay? So y'all have heard these rumors because that man's mother, Donald Young's mother, came out and said a few years ago, because I showed you all the article with her on it. With her in the article, there was a picture of her holding a picture of Donald Young. And she said that she felt like it had something to do with his ties to Obama. All right? Bobo says the lady who verified Obama's birth certificate died in a helicopter crash in Ohio. I mean, in Hawaii. Where I get Ohio from? In Hawaii. I saw the story years ago. People thought this was odd at the time. This is all crazy. Look at Support the Arts, talk about conspiracy theories. Support the Arts, sit down somewhere. Support the Arts says, I have done research, but I don't engage in conspiracy theories. Prove it's a conspiracy theory, Support the Arts. Prove that. Okay, since you do research, prove it's a conspiracy theory. That's what you can do. Yeah, it is a conspiracy theory. You're absolutely right. That's exactly what it is for the sake of ScrewTube. This is all nefarious. Okay, with that all being said, I'm about to be out of here. Okay, so everyone please like and share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Y'all really had me on here for 3 hours? Y'all know I don't do no lives this long. Okay, y'all know better. Sophia said it's called denial. Exactly. Okay, that's exactly what it's called. So with that all being said, I'm out of here. Y'all not going to get no live on the backup channel, honey, now because I got stuff to do. All right. So anyway, listen, but stay tuned because tomorrow I'm going to drop the information. Am I going to drop the information on Jay-Z? I think I might hold on to that for a second. But tomorrow I got some more nefarious information on Diddy that the insider gave me. And this is worse probably than what you heard today. I'm so serious. Okay, please pay attention. Now, Vince I Am says, Durana says, you made my workday go by quick, Queen. Thank you, beloved. I'm glad I could help. Okay. Vince I Am said, thank you, Queen, for a great broadcast as always. We'll catch up on what I missed. Thank you, beloved. Okay, so anyway, with that all been said, I love you all to life. I hope you all enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Enjoy your strong end, not the weekend, leaving you in a weakened state of mind. Okay, each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
With that gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. That's See right. A bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece. This time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got